This is a sport where you wear 4-ounce gloves, you can punch a guy, he can be done in 10 seconds. I just don't understand. Why not ease him in? Why not? The Dennis Seaver fight was the perfect fight. Now, he may not be available, but why not ease him in? And then when you consider the fact that the great equalizer in all of this was like, okay, those of us who did not want to see him back, I think I speak for all of us, we said, you know what? Heart of Jackson's, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. One of the best coaches, best teams in the world. Let's see how he performs. He's now fighting a Jackson's fighter.
Are you excited about it all?
What up, everybody? It's Pulver. Welcome back to the Sound of Violence podcast. I am here with Chris, broadcasting live out of Rotterdam. How's it going out there, bruh?
Oh, good, man. Another day, another hangover for me, man. And it keeps going. You know, that's just a process.
Yeah, it's hard to avoid over there, I would imagine, right?
Yeah,
especially when you're like kind of on vacation, even though you're staying there, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a routinized practice for me now, man. Not a healthy one exactly, but fuck it, you know.
That's right. Hey, well, I'm sure making you stay up until the wee morning hours to drink with me more is definitely helping.
Oh yeah, especially with this. Unofficial sponsor for me. Drink last week. What was it? I had
cannabis energy drink. That's correct.
Which was very pleasant. And this time I am drinking unofficial sponsor of Barefoot Merlot. Yes.
Oh, wow. You're drinking a barefoot wine? Those are not good, Chris. They're so sugary.
I know they are. This is...
You're in Europe and you're drinking barefoot wine?
You told me cheap fucking wine.
You're right, but oh my god, I expected like some fucking weird, like crazy European, like, oh, it's made with grasses.
Oh, it's from Petty, not Pettis, Petty. Or some shit, yeah.
No, it's from Peru. It's called Perry wine. It has weird spices in it. They only make there. That's what I expected, not barefoot.
It's organic.
Yeah, well, then you'll be happy to know that I am drinking good beer this week. I'm starting off with Sam Adams Winter Lager. It's fucking great and festive. We are recording this the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, you racist. And, so we will go ahead and jump into... Oh, yeah, so Chris, you said you're going to stick to that the whole podcast, right?
Yes, I am. I'm going to fucking commit to this, so...
Oh, boy. Well, you are braver than I am.
Oh, boy is right.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, man. Well, why don't we jump into our first segment? So, if you guys haven't heard the show before, the first segment, we go over the podcast we've listened to over the last week or so, as well as... And then we later on jump into the cards from last weekend, of which there were a ton, and the upcoming fight cards. So why don't we go ahead and jump into what podcasts have you listened to over the last week?
So this week I listened to some Submission Radio. I listened to the MMA Hour. I listened to...
Which? Why don't we just start up at the top? Which Submission Radio did you listen to?
Okay, I listened to Luke Rockhold talk and Stephen Thompson. And those are the only two I listened to from Submission. And then for UFC Unfiltered, I listened to episodes 45, which was Derek Brunson and Robert Whitaker. And then I just got done today listening to 46 with Cub Swanson and Frankie Edgar.
Cool, yeah, I caught up on some of those as well. Why don't we, first off, Submission Radio, anything interesting with Luke Rockhold, or is he just doing the same Luke Rockhold, I could be a model bro stuff?
As far as what Rockhold had to say, they were just kind of asking about how's his health lately and how his knee essentially kind of got destroyed And he just said it's just the wear and tear over the years of just all these kicks. Too many checked kicks has just got a lot of wear and tear on his knees. And
I would guess a lot of wrestling out of AKA too.
Yeah, especially I know he was really had a lot of high praise for Khabib.
Well, he trains with Khabib, and I forget which podcast. I think it was Luke Thomas was talking about how Khabib just ragdolls Luke Rockhold, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, he was saying how how great of a training partner Khabib is in camp, even with a guy not. I wouldn't say not nearly as big as Rockhold, but yeah, he would never be. Well, I don't want to say Khabib would never be.
He's literally 30 pounds lighter.
Yeah, so. But either way, he was saying right now, as far as future fights, Jacare is the only opponent on his mind. He wants to get that rematch kind of solidified.
That fight, it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, basically he says once he beats Jacare, there's no way he doesn't get at least a title shot. And yeah, I agree. I mean, because he was just, Rockhold was literally just the champ, just 6 months ago or something like that. And he just gets that rematch done. He's good to go. He briefly talked about Yoel Romero always being a dangerous opponent. He thought Chris Weidman forced too much in the third round and kind of was seeking to take down too early, right off the bat.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he said as far as Yoel versus Bisping, he says he says basically the rarity of Bisping beating Yoel is going to be about just as rare as when Bisping caught Rockhold. I know everyone's going to praise himself, and for good reason, especially if you get caught, but he just thinks, he says Bisping's a tough guy, which is true, because we've seen him, get put through the fucking grinder in so many, classic fights, yeah.
That Anderson knee.
Yeah, Anderson, both Hendo fights, you name it, right? But he just thinks that Yoel is just going to get so many takedown opportunities and just kind of basically smother him.
That's not a bad point.
Yeah, but
I just wonder if Yoel can hold that gas tank up for 5 rounds. You gotta imagine in the 4th and 5th he's gonna be dead.
Yeah, unless he has a whole fucking cooler of water he could just dunk his head in. Who knows? But
that's right. I heard he's gonna be in a dunking booth in his corner for the next fight. So. But yeah, and then of course they fucking asked him, who wins McGregor versus Khabib, and he's just saying, McGregor's dangerous on the feet. Things we already know, left hand could KO almost anyone, but if Khabib gets to the ground, it's over. Things we've been hearing. Lastly, from Submission Radio, Stephen Thompson. This is what kind of scared me in a way. I had no idea. What's really interesting is during his fight against Tyron Woodley, Stephen Thompson fucking weighed 178 pounds during the fight. He said it's the lightest. He doesn't cut weight?
No, I don't know what he said. He said, he didn't say there's any complications, with his weight cutting or anything, but I guess he said he just wasn't smart in just putting the weight back on, because he said Tyron was at least fucking 195.
Well, I think Tyron's just a much bigger dude than Thompson
he is, but Thompson
doesn't cut nearly as much weight.
Well, no, this is what they said. They asked him, how much do you usually weigh? And he said 185, 190. That's what Steven said, what Wonderboy said. So that's what... But weird. See, I don't know. I mean, I could see that because he's tall, and he's he easily weighed 190 during the fight. I could see that, but man, what he was saying basically is, he says he obviously thinks he deserves a rematch because it was a draw. What he said is he was really tired during the 4th round, the one that should have been scored a 10-8, or at least it was by one judge. He said the reason why he felt like he got tired is because he weighed less, and he said it just led to early fatigue. And everything, and he's saying in the rematch his biggest plan, obviously besides training camp and preparing, for what already had happened in their first fight, is he needs to weigh, more, so he can, have more power and everything. So that's the thing that's so interesting. I had no idea that dude just basically weighed nothing, and holy shit, no wonder why. I mean, either way, Woodley's strong enough to put anyone on the mat, on the canvas, just with the takedowns, but I wonder if it'll be something different once the rematch goes, if especially if Wonderboy has a lot more weight on him, man. That would be, especially with his strikes. So,
It'd be interesting. I definitely think Tyron works way more of the takedown game in the next fight, regardless. Because he even said in a bunch of his interviews, like, why the fuck did I stand for so long with that dude?
Yeah. Yeah. And then they lastly asked him, of course, because everyone's going to be asking this for the next 6 months until May or June. What would you think if Conor got the shot ahead of your rematch? All he said bluntly was Conor's way too small for 170. He did basically say, oh, he can talk the talk and walk the walk, so good for him. He has 2 belts. Yeah, other than that, he's just saying basically what Woodley was saying, don't try to go up to 170, dude. You know, just don't. Yeah.
I mean, not Woodley, sorry. Thompson's literally the worst matchup ever, probably, for Conor.
Yeah.
Literally. Because he's so much bigger and hits so much harder and has a karate style and is good at staying on the outside and does not commit hard to punches. Yeah. Like, it is really fast. That might literally be the worst matchup in the UFC for Conor.
Yeah, it definitely...
Actually, anybody, him and Tyron. Those are 2 terrible matchups.
Yeah, definitely not ideal for McGregor. But that's all I have for submission.
That's funny. You mentioned...
And,
I was going to talk next about one you mentioned, which is MMA or the MMA Fortnight, as I like to call it.
Oh, the Fortnight. That's right.
Because I'm a big co-main event podcast fan. But, the MMA Fortnight, they had a couple interesting guests. Mark Hunt did his usual Mark Hunt thing, which I always enjoy. I don't really know how to describe it other than that. He literally just went classic Mark Hunt heel turn.
Let me guess, he probably was like, hey, mate, next time, there's going to be steroids involved. Give me more money. Or something like that.
Yeah, literally. Like, I don't understand why the commission gets all the money. They didn't fight. Why does Brock Lesnar get paid at all?
I like Mark Hunt. He seems like a great guy, but goddamn it, dude, just get back to fighting, please.
I'm cool with him like sitting out and making a stand, but he's like fighting for the unions and all that shit, which I'm into. But yeah, I just wish you could get more play from anyone. It's just frustrating. But he said he's been playing a ton of Counter-Strike, which is awesome. He's like, I've just been playing games. I've played so much Counter-Strike.
That's amazing.
It's like, oh, that's fucking great. He's just super, super into Counter-Strike, evidently. And I think he used to be super into RPGs, too. So that was funny. Man, it was basically just a roundup of people doing what they do. Like, Lyoto Machida was literally just Lyoto Machida the whole time. He was like, I understand USADA. I respect them, but the 18 months is too long. Which I agree with, man. Like, fucking 18 months for that shit is bullshit.
Yeah, it is bullshit. And I listened to a couple of guests on there, too. And the one I always enjoy listening to was Tim Kennedy. I felt really bad for him, when he had to deal with not just Rashad, having to pull out of 205, but 206. But
also
the
206,
whole,
and then announcing it on the show.
Which was crazy. And I feel really bad for Rashad is that the Athletic Commission was denying him a license because Rashad Evans had an MRI come back saying that there's something wrong with his brain.
From what I've heard, I believe Ben Askren was the one that said it. I think we talked about it on a previous podcast, but from what I've heard from some podcasts, again, I think it was Ben Askren on Lineup MMA, that Rashad has an abnormality from when he was a kid from some injury, and brain injuries don't really heal, so like they will show up weird on MRIs, but evidently it's a thing that is a percentage in a significant amount of people, and it's not necessarily indicative of a severe brain injury or whatever. It's just one of those like weird abnormalities that was as a result of trauma, but it doesn't absolutely mean that it like is a danger to him or whatever,
Okay.
But what they did mention, I believe it was on Lineup MMA this week, they did mention that, maybe it was Tim Kennedy that said it on the MMA Hour. Somebody mentioned that when you get flagged like that, like New York did to Rashad, when you apply for the next license, one of the questions on that list is, have you been flagged and told you're not fit to fight by another state commission? So it's kind of interesting, although Ontario is pretty notoriously weird and strict about stuff as well, kind of like New York being new. So I don't know. It's tough. I hope we see Rashad back. Because from what they're saying, it sounds like something he's had throughout his entire career. So it'd be a bummer to see him put aside by it now. But I don't necessarily like that matchup for Rashad either, though.
Yeah, I don't either. And I was gonna say, kind of what you mentioned about this new athletic commissions being stricter on rules. I noticed that since Yoel Romero he left the octagon and jumped over the cage, the New York Athletic Commission actually banned him for 60 days, I believe it was.
Yeah, but that's bullshit because that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but
He's not fighting in 60 days anyway.
Yeah,
it's just
I know, but
showing.
it's just them just trying to flex their muscle and shit. And they still.
Yeah.
One thing I do agree with, though, well, I don't know. Well, fuck it, I do agree with this. They banned Kelvin Gastelum and Thiago Alves each 6 months for missing weight. So don't disagree with that.
Nope,
I mean,
I'm
Gastelum
pretty into it,
needs to
actually.
get
I
his
think
shit
it's
together.
super fair.
So that guy needs to go up to 185. I mean, hell, Robert Whittaker, was smart. That motherfucker said he was cutting like 25, 30 pounds to 170. That's nuts. You know what I mean? So he was smart.
And he still, like, Gastelum still looks tubby, too, when he makes weight. So, like, I don't know what's up with that dude.
Yeah, that should tell something right there. Like, holy shit.
But yeah, he needs to permanently be at 185 because he's proven he cannot make 170. He's just proven that over and over and over again. Tyron Woodley had the best point about that. He's like, bro, you missed weight and I gave you I didn't even make you pay me 20% of your check, and then you started talking shit about me recently and then missed weight again.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
The guy needs to figure something out.
He needs to stay at 185 and just bulk the fuck up, I guess.
Put on some more weight. There you go. Yeah. So you fucking can guarantee make your 185, or if he wants to even get bigger, go to 205 and get smashed. I don't know.
Well, it sucks. I mean, I like Kelvin Gastelum. He's a good fighter, but that dude just doesn't make weight. Also, he's another motherfucker who was seen eating hella unhealthy food not far out from that way, and also, I think it was Mexican food, but I might be mixing them up. He was either out at like a diner or I might be mixing. I know he was eating something super unhealthy on his Instagram.
I think you told me someone was eating really unhealthy. Oh no!
Well, that was also Charles Oliveira did it.
Yeah, he was eating McDonald's on Instagram.
Right, and Kelvin I think he was eating like burritos or something, saying like, classic Mexican food or something like that, like a week or two out or like 3 weeks out from making weight. Just unacceptable at this point. Like, bro, you've missed weight that many times. All right, Johnny Hendricks, go the fuck up.
This reminds me of, dude, like, people not taking care of their bodies properly. I was just, I was telling you before we started recording earlier, I was watching Tough Season 12. There was this fighter in there who was annoying, and he didn't annoy people as much. It was, what's his name, Jeff Lentz. This dude would smoke cigarettes and fucking drink before his fight. And he was like, oh, bro, don't worry. I got great cardio. You don't even worry about it. And it's just like, oh, my fucking God.
I mean, Joe Schilling notoriously is told on Joe Rogan's podcast how he would, in the glory tournaments he was in, where you have like 3 or 4 fights in a night, he would smoke cigarette between fights. It's a fucking madman.
Yeah, I get it, but it's just like, come on, dude. It's just like, oh, man.
Definitely sketchy. Anyway, we should get back on track with MMA Hour, though.
I was saying, did you listen to Habib's manager, Ali
Abdelaziz, the worst manager in all of MMA?
Yeah, he seemed a little
outside of Edmund.
He seemed pretty fucking condescending.
He's always a shithead. He's the one who went on Frankie Edgar's Twitter and was like talking shit about people as Frankie, and like he's notorious. He's the person who had to leave WSOF because he kept matchmaking his fighters into super advantageous fights because he ran the promotion. Like, he's the shadiest of all time.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about what he had to say, but since it's Habib that he was talking about, I will say that the whole direct message that Habib had to Conor was pretty hilarious. Yeah,
super
saying
funny.
You need to die like samurai, not
samurai.
like coward.
Don't run like coward. Fight me, chicken.
Yeah, green chicken. Fight me.
I love it. I love Khabib. He's the best. He's literally my favorite person in MMA. Him, Derek Brunson, and Angela Hill are just my fucking favorite, and the Diaz brothers.
Yeah, I was telling you, dude. I'd like the dude to the point, dude, where like sometimes like the McGregor's Instagram post with, I'm all out of competition, holding the money up to his head like
Such
it's a phone.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
Someone
called
somebody to get me some competition.
Yeah, all I did was just hashtag Habib time. Just on everything. I don't give a fuck because everyone else is doing it too. I just think it's hilarious. Like, why not?
I love it.
Yeah.
And also, well, actually, I'll get to it later, but. Or no, actually, it was on that interview that he mentioned that Khabib is one of the few people that is a Chechen fighter that crossed over, or Dagestani fighter that crossed over. Because there's crazy history with Dagestan and Russia of like all these crazy fucking wars and shit that have lasted for decades and decades. But he's one of the few that crosses over that Russian fans love him too.
That's a good
it's pretty
point,
fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because we always out here just assume they're all fucking Russian, but they've had hella internal conflicts for like decades and shit.
Oh, dude, yeah, ever since the fall of the USSR, everything like that, yes. You know, Bosnia, Serbia, all those fucking countries have had their unfortunate civil wars, but whatever, that's just how that is, you know, when countries fall or, you know, merge or annex each other or anything, but
it's crazy to see Khabib like just cross borders like that. Plus, America is starting to love the shit out of Khabib. Like a bunch of the media's been on his side for a while now. Now that he's back fighting, the problem was he wasn't fighting. Like if that dude had been fighting this whole time and not injured, he would have been everybody's favorite, like McGregor is now.
Oh yeah,
just like way less, like way more salty and way less campy.
And this is the thing, too. What he's doing is brilliant. I mean, yeah, he said he only wants to wait 3 months. Obviously, it's going to be longer than 3 months if he wants a title shot. The fact that he's talking all this trash talk, though, is brilliant because Dana White and, you know, WME would say, well, obviously the fans like this guy, so let's give him a shot over Ferguson. In a way, Ferguson should be the one talking shit. I don't know why. I'm actually surprised he's quiet. Unless he just wants to just keep fighting whoever. But, I mean, either way, I remember Khabib was saying that he's given the UFC 3 months. He said the least they could do is give him an interim title fight against Ferguson. He said he would be up for that, but it'd have to be for an interim belt. But then again, you know, logically, in a sports mind, that wouldn't be logical because, you know, Connor's barely been a lightweight champ, but fuck it. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just...
Welcome to the WME era, bro. It's where money rules everything. It's where fucking Paige Van Zandt is going to fight fucking Joanna Jędrzejczyk way too soon and get absolutely murdered because they don't understand the sport. Shit is about to get fucked up in the next year, Chris. We picked a weird time to start doing a podcast starting at UFC 200. It's when like we were like officially live, and it's going to be a weird turning point in the sport. You kind of feel it card by card. Feels like it's starting to go in a very weird direction.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see too many freak show fights. Or I mean, most of it's going to be money matchups and money weight, you know, all that shit. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, you know, to say the least, obviously. So. Definitely.
Well, that leads in well to my next point, or to the next person on the MMA Hour I wanted to mention. CM Punk was on there doing a fucking terrible interview about how he thinks he's going to fight in the UFC again, which is going to happen because CME.
Oh, of course, he'll probably fight Mike the Truth Jackson or something like
IMG. That. Yeah, no, well, that's the fight everybody thinks is going to happen, right? I think they bring in some jobber for him to beat. I think they literally bring in like some fucking super jobber that like I don't even know how they're gonna fucking find him. I'm
just find
maybe
some guy,
another WWE guy. Like
just find some guy named Campbell because he's a can, right?
No, literally, like they're gonna find like some fucking celebrity or some jobber that from the WWE to come fucking fight CM Punk. Like, I bet you we're gonna get some bullshit.
Oh, we are.
Based off because he keeps name dropping like, oh, I'm in talks with Dana.
It's stupid.
Which is bad. That's a bad sign for everyone who's a fan of the actual sport and not just the fucking train wreck clown show with the redhead in the conductor's seat.
And I was gonna say my shitty joke fell entirely flat. I said they should just find someone named Campbell. You know, get it like as in a can Campbell.
No, I got it.
Yeah, but it's
I was looking for a chunky joke, Chris. Chunky. Was
Chunky, there we
reference
go.
I was looking for.
Yeah.
Campbell's Chunky Soup, dog. All right. Well, we'll keep on rolling. I think only one. Oh, Manny was all right. Manny was just Manny.
I
on
was
the
going to say
show.
one thing I will mention. Gegard and Musasi, always interesting to listen to. Congrats on his big
He's
win.
talking about how his brother kills sheep. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? He's like, I want to buy a farm so my family can all live on it. I don't
One
give
thing-
a fuck.
One thing
Fuck
I
you,
love
I'm
about
coming. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say to you, one thing I love about Moose is his fucking interviews. He just like, he literally said, I remember I wrote it down. They're like, what are your thoughts, on your title shot? And he's like, I'm coming. What the fuck? I'm coming.
Yep. And
Like,
then
you just
Ariel
can't make
kept
that
saying
shit
it
up.
over and over again.
Yeah.
Super funny. I was a big fan of it. Gegard was just classic Gegard talking shit like he has been lately. It's real good. Also, I just opened a Citradelic Ale, a tangerine IPA from New Belgium. And
I am jealous.
Right? It's pretty good. And then Owen Roddy Piper, nope. Owen
Roddy Piper, yeah, might as well be.
Owen Roddy, that's his
That's
name.
McGregor's like striking coach, right? Or something like that?
Theoretically.
Yeah, theoretically. Yeah.
This
In name
fucker,
only, right? Whatever you want to call
man,
it.
I skipped through this interview. I think that might be the first interview I've ever skipped through outside of a Jean-Claude Van Damme or Steven Seagal interview that Ariel has done. The dude was just really obnoxious.
I didn't even listen.
Super into himself. It's just Ariel sucking Connor's dick the whole time. It was rough, man. It's just like Ariel being like, I thought it was so disrespectful for everyone not to suck Connor's dick the whole time. Like, come on, guys. How are you going to ask him about the Floyd fight? We haven't sucked his dick enough yet.
Balls, bro.
Right. Like, you got to foreplay Connor before you talk about Floyd. You can't just bring up another man's name. You have to first blow him and get him comfortable. I didn't like it. It was really upsetting. So that was kind of terrible. But my favorite segment of the whole show was with New York Rick when they talked about BJ Penn. And they were talking about how they're like, so Rick, how do you feel about BJ Penn? And Rick just gets, actually we'll play this for the first break, but Rick just gets really upset and he goes, I mean, I thought Ricardo Lamas was a bad matchup, but now they're giving him not Ilya Latifi, Yair Rodriguez.
El Pantera. Yeah.
Who, if he beats him, it doesn't really do much for BJ Penn because
Yair's
a young up-and-comer who could lose a fight like that. But also, Yair trains out of Jackson's, who have just learned and rebuilt literally all of BJ Penn's tools. It is literally the most fucked up one-sided matchup that's probably ever happened against a serious legend in the sport, and it's so fucked up.
I'm not looking forward to seeing BJ Penn get kicked in the face and just getting knocked out. I'm really not looking forward to this.
It's just so upsetting the way they're matchmaking that, and it just screams that Joe Silva has nothing to do with it. I know technically it's a 145, so it would be Sean Shelby, which makes me double nervous now that Sean Shelby's in charge of other divisions. So, I don't know. But speaking of legends in the sport, my favorite interview, aside from that New York Rick segment, was Matt Mitrione talking about Fedor.
Yeah, I listened to that too, man. And what did you think of that reveal? I know you were at a wedding, so I tried messaging you all those pictures and shit. I don't know if you're able to.
Yeah, I caught it after. So I went back and I watched all the fights and everything, and holy shit, that reveal was awesome. Especially since Mitrione didn't even know until he walked out that it was Fedor. He's just like, oh shit.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, you can tell he's genuinely surprised, and then he's like, man, you wore the sweater, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know you wore this sweater.
It's
I remember,
so good.
Oh, yeah, that was fucking great.
Yeah, it's just a classic Fedor, classic Mitrione. Mitrione just being hilarious and being so hyped that he gets to fight Fedor. I think it's a pretty decent matchup. Although I don't know. I would have liked to see Bobby Lashley versus Fedor, but they don't want to kill Bobby Lashley as an actual contender at heavyweight. Yeah. So I guarantee you that they might feed Bobby Lashley to whoever wins, though, just to bump up whoever wins. Because Bobby Lashley Fedor would be huge, and Matt Mitrione, Bobby Lashley, after Matt Mitrione beats Fedor and then beats Bobby Lashley, you can make a fucking
does Bobby
name
Lashley
off
still
of
have
that.
those WWE fans or something? I don't know how fucking long ago that dude was in WWE, but
yeah, he's got enough. He still gets a pretty decent crowd, but he's definitely towards the middle of that division at best. there's only like 10 dudes in the division, so in Bellator. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, but I love seeing Meatwad get his Meatwad. What's he go by? Meatwad, right?
No, isn't it just Meathead?
Wait, no, you're right. Stephanie Crooklyn calls him Meatwad. Everybody else calls him Meathead. God, fucking listen to too many podcasts, all of which Mitrione is on way too many of them. But definitely excited to see that dude get some love from Scott Coker and make some real motherfucking money. So he's getting paid good for that fight. So I'm just happy to see it, and I can't wait for that shit.
Hell
my
yeah,
god,
man.
MMA Hour always ends up taking up so much time.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only other stuff I saw with Aereo was MMA Beat Live with him, Chuck Mindenhall.
I love that show.
And the other guy whose name I forget, unfortunately, I know Luke Thomas.
The
was
guy with
absent.
the shirt.
Yeah, what was his name? I didn't write it down.
I always forget his name too.
I apologize to that guy, but he had a lot of good stuff.
The shirt.
Yeah, he had a lot of good stuff to say. I won't go into complete detail. The only thing they were talking about a lot, they talked about the Bellator reveal, which we just touched on. They were talking about who fights the winner of this week's coming fight, between Whitaker and Brunson. They were discussing. Oh, the one thing they really discussed was just the importance of Michael Chandler's win over Benson Henderson, and what that means and stuff, and how that was such a huge victory for Bellator. How that was such a great fight that might be considered a classic. And
it was a fantastic. It was like it's like every Michael Chandler fight. That dude just fucking scraps.
It's like that fucking suplex, man. Goddamn.
Throws, just nothing but throwing hands and dumping people on their face.
That was the thing too. I remember when I watched that, I was also watching the boxing match simultaneously. So
right.
I had one of them on and one of them muted. And by the way, I think I mentioned it last week, but god damn it, dude, it's just why I don't have faith in the judges in boxing. It's just whatever. I already know I mentioned it before, but god damn it. But it always comes back to them. I see. It's bad when fucking ESPN even calls that shit controversial. So it's just
right.
But either way, I'm not talking about boxing, but MMA Beat, they were talking about Yair Rodriguez. They're saying BJ hasn't fought since 2011. Fuck, has it really been 5 years? Jesus Christ.
No, really?
No, yeah, I think so.
I thought he fought in 2013, but I might be wrong.
Oh no, I think it was 2013. Huh? Wasn't that when he fought Edgar the third time?
Yeah,
I probably just misheard
I think it was
that.
about that. I could be mixing up. It could be 2011. But I feel like it was closer to 2013 because it wasn't that long ago when that fight was.
Yeah. So, that's all I really took from that. The only other thing they're talking about is Mickey Gall will rise to stardom if he beats Sage, or he could potentially be a star, if he beats Sage.
Absolutely. Which, if you've listened to him on Punch Drunk Sports, you already know he's going to. That shit is going to be a slobber knocker, and he's going to body that young, little, spiky-headed fuck.
I also accidentally listened to an older episode of Lineup MMA. I didn't realize that they hadn't had a new one out until later this week, so that was my fault because I listened to it on Monday.
Nice. Last week's episode was good, though.
Yeah, it was. I think it was Joe Warren was calling Connor a potential goat. And he said, in quotes, Connor would ass rape GSP. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so, and then Ben Askren was just fucking shitting himself. Like, Joe, you don't really believe this, Joe.
Yeah, so
it's real good.
Their thoughts on 205 are kind of pretty much really similar to what we shared amongst ourselves when we thought about the card. I listened to, I think about half. I skipped through a lot of it, unfortunately, of the new co-main event podcast, released episode 232. They were again talking about the Fedor reveal, what it means if he ends up beating Mitrione. They want to see Fedor versus Tito Ortiz or Chael. That they thought that would have been cool.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of would have expected those as the comeback fights for Fedor, but I think they're trying to build it up.
Let's see. One thing, I really agreed. They said Michael Venom Page has a crazy but infuriating style, and they're saying basically, should we care anymore about MVP? To the point, when's this guy really gonna like pour it on. Like he should have fucking murdered that one guy, right?
Well, and the dude is taunting him. If you go back and watch that fight, the dude's talking shit to MVP the entire fight. He's like, just keeps like doing the finger motion wave, like, come on, motherfucker. And he just keeps saying, come on, let's go. Let's fucking fight, come on. And he just doesn't do shit.
It was so ironic. I remember when I watched that fight, the pre-fight, promo thing. I can't remember his name. What's it? Garcia? I can't remember his name. The Mexican fighter, but he's like, oh, us Mexicans.
I want to say Fernando Garcia, but that's wrong.
He's like, oh, in our heritage, Mexicans always push forward. We're aggressive. He's like, so look for me being aggressive this whole time, and that's what he did not do at all.
He did in the third round, and he won the entire third round, but he decided to do it. But
That's okay. That's why. Yeah, that's why that
but
whole
the first
fight
two
was a
rounds
shit show.
sucked dick.
What's up?
Said the first 2 rounds sucked dick, though. Like, once he started putting the pressure on MVP in the third, it at least started forcing MVP to try to do something, or at least, like, have to evade shit. But, like, the first 2 rounds were sucked. It was just a ton of feinting and just nothing from MVP. Like, that motherfucker, like, ugh. It's just so upsetting to watch him. It's like Anderson. It's like Anderson when he was fighting Damian Maia levels, where like, but at least Anderson had a reason to be like that. Whereas like, man, just MVP doesn't seem to pull the trigger against anybody who puts a pressure on him.
I see that the guy has a lot of talent, and I'm sure he'd be good if he like kind of had like a different approach to some of his fights. But that guy is so skinny, dude. I'm like afraid for his health that like his leg's gonna fucking snap in half if he lands if his kick
Anderson Silva style.
Yeah, dude, that guy is so fucking skinny.
He's really small for that. I mean, like how thin he is and how tall he is for that weight class.
Like, dude, if that dude put on some fucking pounds and was a middleweight, he'd probably be fucking insane.
He'd be dope.
Yeah, but whatever. That's his style. So I mean.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, plus who knows? Like, maybe when that dude gets some decent competition, he'll actually show the fuck up. Which he hasn't really gotten anybody really on his caliber yet. So. We'll see. Let's see. So other ones, I guess I should jump into a couple I've listened to.
Yeah, go for it.
You know what? I'll start off the top. One show I listened to that I very rarely, if ever, shout out is the Adam Carolla show. They had Dan Henderson on the week after Conor McGregor won the belt, talking about, because Dan Henderson, if you don't know, was the first man to own 2 belts in Pride. And was just a bad motherfucker in general. So they had him in studio. Pretty funny, just Dan Henderson coming in talking shit. At one point, they had Dan holding pads for Adam. So if you guys don't know, Adam Carolla was a Golden Globes boxing champion back when he was in his 20s or whatever. So Dan's like holding pads and Adam's throwing combos and shit. It's pretty funny, and Dan Henderson's like making fun of Adam for like, hey, you gotta turn that over. You gotta turn that punch over. It's just pretty entertaining overall. Dan Henderson's a little snarky and just pretty funny in general.
Yeah, I remember Adam Carolla. The only exposure I had to him, I know he's been like a comedian and I think a writer for a couple. I know he did the Man Show with Jimmy Kimmel,
yep.
And I think who was it? Doug Stanhope and Rogan had something to do with the Man Show too, right?
They took over once Adam and Jimmy left the show.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, that's where I remember Adam Carolla the most from, especially when I was like, fuck, dude, I was like maybe only like 11, 12 when that show was on.
I know him mostly from Loveline, the syndicated radio show out of LA.
Dr. Drew.
Yeah. Yep, Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla, Loveline. Hey, everybody, it's Adam Carolla. That's Dr. Drew, Loveline. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Dr. Drew, board certified musician, Digimaz, bye-bye. I've listened to a lot of that. Show. Shouts out to superfan Giovanni. Happy Thanksgiving, bitch. That, if you guys don't know, that's the Adam Carolla archivist. That dude's the best. Anyway, back on track. Yeah, the Adam Carolla show is funny. Also, if you guys need a cranberry recipe, go check that out. Other ones I listen to, MMA Evolution, which is a new old Sherdog podcast. MMA Evolution was the show TJ DeSantis, the producer for the Sherdog Radio Network. He previously did a show with a guy named Caleb, not Caleb Starnes. I forget which Caleb it is. Caleb Quinn. It's a guy TJ knew from Minnesota when they were both training together when they grew up. And they had Julie Kedzie on to talk about the Invicta show. It was just super interesting. If you guys don't know, there was a big controversy during the stoppage in the Tanya Evinger fight for Invicta 20. So they talked a lot about that. They talked about just how cool it is seeing Invicta come the fuck up the way it is, and how it's like pretty clearly the biggest women's division around nowadays. Just interesting show, and a lot of just Julie Kedzie being fiery as fuck as usual, and just a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend checking that out. Some other ones I got. I guess also on the TJ DeSantis tip, I listened to Anik and Florian's podcast where they did a recap for Fight Night 100 and just talked about Thanksgiving and stuff. Ray Longo called in to do his weekly update. Just a good episode overall. I mean, nothing crazy spectacular. Nothing crazy stood out. I just enjoyed it this week. I thought it was just overall a good show. Sometimes those dudes, I like them. Sometimes they get a little, like, UFC high-fivey that I'm not a big fan of, but overall,
I was gonna say, I don't know why. I always see hate for fucking John Anik on Reddit. I don't know why. Maybe they...
Wow, really? I figured it would be Florian.
I like John Anik, and I like Florian too, but I think they don't like Anik when he's doing his job, like whether it's commentating. I think that's the thing they shit on the most. Like, oh, he's so boring. It's like, I don't know. I
like him. I think he's just
fine.
Good at it because he stays out of the way. It's like the opposite of Mike Goldberg. He just stays the fuck out of the way. I'd rather listen
to fucking Anik, be the regular.
Anik and Stan is like one of my favorite combinations.
Yeah, no, it's great. I like it a lot because they just gel so well together. And I'm just kind of used to hearing that, when you want to watch a fight night or something like that.
Yep, definitely. Let's see. Oh, UFC Unfiltered. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you want to hear some breaking news, kind of ish, or let maybe like after the break, because I'll get into Unfiltered. I listen to Unfiltered as well, so maybe we can share thoughts.
Let's do Unfiltered, and then we'll get into the news. So Unfiltered, I actually listened to a couple of them. I listened to the Raquel Pennington episode from a couple weeks back on UFC 38 when she called in, which was good. I mean, it was just Raquel Pennington being Raquel Pennington, fucking adorable and sweet and funny. And then I listened to, UFC Unfiltered 43, which was the recap and the Gegard Mousasi episode. It's just such salty. So salty.
Yeah, I remember I listened to that one, I think a week ago, last week, but I don't remember shit of what I said.
Yeah, it was just so salty, like the saltiest Gegard. Just Gegard with all the salt.
Yeah.
Let's see. So the other one I listened to was...
Probably 45 and 46, perhaps, because that's the ones I listened to.
Yep, go for it.
Okay, yeah, well, 45. Robert Whittaker, I know his interview was pretty kind of short and sweet, but I really like his attitude. I remember I was talking to you earlier. I was watching older seasons of The Ultimate Fighter, and I watched quite a bit of Tough Smashes, and one thing that someone made a point of is that dude's only 25 years old, but he's so the way the guy conducts himself in such a mature, fat, and professional manner is actually pretty impressive, I think, especially for someone who's like on a winning streak and stuff. The guy usually has nothing but respectful things to say about his opponents, and I think it's kind of rare you kind of find people like that in the fight game.
Yeah, he just seems really classy, and he fights so technical.
Yeah, and I remember I was talking to you too, and you listened to it. His brutal weight cut to when he was at welterweight is like fucking 30 pounds or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know that's how like on the outside of like the Cody McKenzie, I'm gonna draw blood to make weight type shit.
Oh yeah, that guy was kind of. I remember. Yeah, I was just watching Top 12. That guy is quite a character on there too.
Cody McKenzie is one of the craziest people on the planet. If you guys have not heard Cody McKenzie's stories, go look that dude up. I believe he showed up to fight. Who was it? Was it James Krause or James Vick? I think it was James Vick. He showed up to fight him.
I think he fought James Vick, yeah.
I think it was in the Venator cage, the Jason Mayhem Miller fight. And I think he showed up almost as out of shape as Miller did in that fight. Like, he was like 15 or 20 pounds over, and he was drinking in the bar the week of the fight. And then Miller was like 35 pounds over and was also drinking in the bar. Some crazy shit like that.
Yeah, I was talking about that weight cut from Whitaker. He was saying that's the reason he said the tough smashes experience was terrible. He said because of the brutal weight cut, and he said he just didn't like being away from his family, which I get too. 6 weeks, but I think he said it was mostly because of the house that they're in, and I get that, being in there just with a bunch of other dudes that just kind of want to rip your head off, or basically they have the same goal in mind. I could see how that could be kind of annoying, or a little uncomfortable, but
yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the thing about that show is it's so unlike actual fighting. Like the way the camps are prepared, the way you cut weight, what you eat, the way you're dating. It's just nothing like actual fights. That's why it's so fucked up. That's why I like that it doesn't count for the actual record, though, as well.
Yeah, that is nice. And I was going to say, as far as, like, the tough seasons go, I was going back to some of the older ones and watching them. The one that I will always keep praising is this year's Tough 24. And, I saw the episode from this weekend. It was really fucking solid again. And it's down to 2 fighters. It's like, see, part of me kind of wants to be a dick and just spoil who's fighting Mighty Mouse
save it for next week.
But
save
I'm not going to.
Because you and me, I'm going to catch up on all of them, and we'll do a big discussion about all of it.
See, that's the sad thing too. Like I don't mind spoilers sometimes when it comes to movies, but I felt like such a piece of shit when I was spoiled like fucking 3 or 4 months ago. But I mean, he'll still probably get fucked by Mighty Mouse. I mean, Mighty Mouse just run through everyone, but he's the one who
He has a good base set of skills though for that division. Like he's got super solid wrestling game. He also has good jiu-jitsu, offense,
his movement's
and defense.
Pretty interesting too.
He's got a real herky jerky fucking Keith Jardine style of striking that makes him hard to hit.
What would you say the odds are gonna be? Mighty Mouse minus what? Like 800, something retarded?
I would say, probably I would put it around there, but it should probably be higher.
Because someone was joking, if it's Elliott plus 1,000, I'm obviously putting $100. Because I mean, I would too probably if I had 100. Why not?
I think like Mighty Mouse like 950 probably is about right.
Because if it is like say Elliott's like fuck it plus 800 plus 900, you're obviously gonna throw money. Why not, right? Even though it's Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, Mighty Mouse finish.
Yeah.
just because Tim Elliott doesn't, it's a bad matchup style wise.
Oh yeah,
DJ's better at everything that Tim Elliott's good at.
Yeah. So I don't know who the fuck's ever gonna do good in that flyweight division. Who knows? But
it's pretty crazy.
It was a good idea though for the season. It was
a great season from what I've heard. I'm excited to go check it out.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
Definitely. All right. Well, cool. So why don't we keep rolling into shows that we listened to? I forgot to mention I listened to Beatdown with Shannon Knapp. No, wait. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the last one I mentioned was Julie Kedzie did an interview with TJ DeSantis, who Julie Kedzie, if you guys don't know, is the co-announcer with TJ for the Invicta card. She's the Brian Stan of that John Anik Brian Stan combination. Whereas Shannon Knapp is the Dana White of Invicta. And TJ essentially had her on to go over just kind of how fucking far Invicta has come and, again, talk more about the controversy in the finish of, or in the armbar finish of Tanya Evinger, which we'll talk about later, but just a great episode. Shannon Knapp is so underrated. She's been in the sport forever. She was on Sherdog in like the fucking early 2000s as like the one girl. She's just so, actually I think she's talked about it before. What was her name on it? I think it was like Tito's little sister or something like that, or Boss's little sister. That was her name on Sherdog back in the day, because Boss Rutan always called her his little sister, so she would always go on Sherdog as Boss's little sister. Anyway, she now runs Invicta. She's fucking awesome. They put on some of the best female fights on the planet, and it was just a great episode of her talking about how far the division has come for like the 135 or 115 division specifically, talking about Angie Hill's win, and just how far the promotion has come as a whole. since their beginning, and how people were telling her like, "Oh, you're fucking out of your." I think Dana. She says at one point, Dana said when she first told him the idea, he's like, "You got big balls," and she's like, "I took that as a big compliment coming from Dana." So
you fucking goof.
Exactly, but I thought it was just a fun interview. Definitely worth checking out.
I was gonna say, I know you were just mentioning DeSantis Productions and stuff. I know we were kind of talking about Unfiltered, I think, with briefly. Was there anything else you wanted to add? I mean, I listened to Derek Brunson's bit, and what I thought was interesting was how he was in competitive cheerleading and stuff since from when he was like in 7th grade to like senior year of high school. So
I missed that part.
That was kind of cool. He said he did it to like stay in shape, and he said it was actually the best place to meet chicks, appropriately. Just be a cheerleader yourself. So good on him for committing to that. I said it was a buddy of his, I think, that he wrestled with. It was their idea to just like, fuck it, let's be the guys who throw the chicks in the air and do like.
It was his buddy who was wrestling with his sexuality.
Yeah, right. They're like, hey man, we're having fun. Let's have more fun.
Hey bro, come cheerlead with me, bro. Just joking, Derek Brunson, you're terrifying.
Yeah, I was gonna say one thing that was interesting though that I haven't heard fighters really bring up is he said he had a what has he said? Oh, he said he was a caseworker and he was an in-home therapist after he got a degree. And he said he would actually most of his clients are people with behavioral problems like ADD, OCD, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and he was talking about I don't want to say he called political, but philosophically, I guess he was talking about he's on the side of rehabilitating people instead of locking them up and things like that. And it was kind of interesting hearing a take on that. Something especially something that he studied.
I know a couple of dudes who do that kind of stuff, and it takes a special breed of motherfucker to get into that kind of work. Like, you're a sweetheart, but also you can handle a little blood and violence if you need to.
Yeah, I mean, good on him, man. I don't know if I'd be able to deal with people who have multiple personality disorder or schizophrenia. Like, holy shit, man, he has to have some patience. And so good on him that he did that, and then he has a knack for that.
Yeah, he always seemed like a good dude in all the interviews I've heard.
And did you say you listened to the episode with Frankie and Cub? By any
No, I didn't hear that one.
Okay. I could share some things if you want. If you want to talk about another thing you listen to, that's cool with me too. The one thing I thought, and this is always one of the most terrifying injuries in any combat sports, besides, say, like your knee snapping in half, your leg.
Or dick kicks.
Yeah, or dick kicks.
Shouts out to Czech Congo.
Cub Swanson was talking about that his upcoming fight against Korean Superboy, I think that's who he's fighting, Do Ho Choi.
Yeah, Do Ho Choi.
Is going to be one where he kind of just like proves people wrong because he was called out by Korean Superboy saying, oh, you're too old, you're past your prime.
That's fucked up. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said it was Superboy who told him that and called him out. He said it took 2 months for this fight to come together, but now it's finally there. He was saying, obviously, he was asked about Conor. He thinks it's ridiculous that the division's being held up, blah, blah, blah. It's supposed to be stripped of his title. We know this. Yep. They asked him about Frankie's performance against Jeremy Stevens. He said that's exactly how he thought the fight would go down, basically just decision victory. As far as injuries go, like I just said, he's broken his jaw twice in his career and had it wired shut for 6 to 7 weeks.
Was one of them from the Aldo knee?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you know what? I don't even think he mentioned who broke his jaw, but that's.
I'm only assuming by the way he went down that one of them had to have been from the Aldo knee. I remember hearing that, but I'm not positive.
The one thing that made me just like physically fucking feel uncomfortable when he described it was he was saying when his jaw was wired shut, the only thing that he would have to make sure he had to do was go to bed fast so that he doesn't yawn. Because when you yawn, it
locks, right?
No, he said it's basically like your jaw starts vibrating very excruciatingly, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's fucking horrifying.
Yeah, it's fuck that. So another thing.
Oh my god, that's so terrifying.
Yeah, and another thing that was crazy too is he said he's had his nose hit so many times in sparring that his septum gets popped out of place sometimes. So he has to fucking use a toothbrush and jam it up his nose and realign it back into place so he could breathe properly.
Oh, God.
So because of
as a dude with the fucked up septum, I feel your pain, dog.
I was going to say, as some of his injuries that have piled up over the years, because I think he's 33 now. So I mean, I know he's been a vet for a while.
And he's been fighting since he was like, and he started when he was 19,
I think, or 20.
Yeah, or it might be younger than that. He was like right around then. He's like, I forget who. Oh, Carlos Condit was the one who was fighting when he was like 17 and shit.
But yeah, Cub Swan's been saying he went on like this 8-day excursion trip that had to do a lot of hiking and self-alone meditation time in the mountains, and he said there was when he kind of made his decision, do I want to keep fighting, this kind of thing, and he's just like, fuck it, let's go. I think he said when Superboy called him out, that was just kind of like, that just kind of put him, made his decision that much easier, like, well, this guy's calling me out, so I got to prove him wrong. So
Doho Choi's scary, man.
Yeah, that dude looks fucking
so straight and so hard.
Yeah, that's what Matt Serra kept talking about, is this Superboy's punching power and everything.
He's just so straight with everything. My favorite thread on the Underground is, I've never even opened it, but my favorite thread title is, someday there will be Conor McGregor versus Doho Choi. And I just like the idea of that fight. That fight would be awesome. I think McGregor probably kills him, but I think it'd be so fun for the 20 seconds it lasts.
And then lastly, Frankie Edgar, he says he's not worried about Conor holding the division because he's just basically the way he looks at it. He says, I just want to fight whoever's put in front of me. He says obviously a title shot.
Been that way.
Yeah. He says no matter what, his next fight he wants to have is at 209 in Brooklyn. He just kind of wants to stay close to family and stuff, which I get, because that's got to be nice. He still
Brooklyn is the Stockton of the of New York.
Yeah,
I've always said that.
And he said he didn't understand why Eddie was booed in New York City. I mean, he said obviously half those were just McGregor fans who are actually Americans just embracing their Irish heritage, which sounds extremely accurate.
Idiots.
Fucking quarter Irish, bro, but we stand and bang.
Dog, hey, he's a little freckled like me, bro.
So, right, but yeah, he was saying, they asked him, of course, what do you think about dropping to 135? He said he would only do it right now if there's a title shot. I get it.
Make that happen immediately.
I mean, that'd be amazing.
It'd be so dope. I mean, fucking why not? Dom Cruz, I don't know if Dom Cruz wants that fight. That's a bad matchup.
Yeah, that wouldn't be
Because Frankie's
fun.
like Dom Cruz with better. I don't know. I want to say better wrestling, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, I'm not positive either.
But I think the size helps Frankie definitely.
And then lastly, Frankie, I think Matt Serra was one brought up. It says he has over 6 hours of octagon time. Jesus.
Yep, he has. I think the most of anyone, right?
Yeah, I think he does. Out of anyone right now.
I'm pretty sure. It's him and I forget who else. A couple other, like GSP was up there for a while.
Probably Silva's up there too, I would imagine. Aldo?
Silva had a lot of short fights though. Aldo had a lot of short fights.
Oh yeah, because it's total time. That's right.
Yeah, so it's people who were legends who went 5 rounds a lot, and so GSP, Frankie.
Cruz is probably up there. I mean, if he didn't,
I think Matt Hughes was up there for a while.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got really, just as far as what I really want to. I kind of want to keep it shorter on my end as far as just covering some of the podcast stuff.
Definitely, I know we both have gone over a ton. I think I only have. Let's see. I've got a couple Chael ones to mention. I finally got around to the Raging Al Iaquinta episode. Just classic Chael and Al Iaquinta. Pretty fun. Whitaker Brunson breakdown, as well as the Kovalev Ward fight talk on Heavy Hands was fucking awesome. Heavy Hands 134. Just overall awesome episode. A lot of really in-depth talk about both of those. Whitaker Brunson is an interesting matchup that we'll get into later, but it's very weird. And a lot of times I don't necessarily always agree with Heavy Hands' diagnosis of fights or what they think is going to happen. But they always point out small subtleties that I would have never caught on my own, like small ticks that people have or small things people lean on, whether it comes to the way they circle in certain situations or how hard they pressure or that kind of stuff. So I always find it really interesting. Let's see. Luke Thomas's live chat was awesome as always. A bunch of BJ and Fedor talk. Press row with Jordan Breen. He had Mike Bone on, or Mike Bone as the kids call him. They talked about the comebacks of BJ Penn and Fedor and how it's just fucking horrifically depressing on both points, and how no one wants that in their life.
Yeah.
Just tough stuff. And the only other thing I wanted to mention was, I feel like there was, I almost forgot. Joe Rogan had on Champ, what's good, Champ?
Oh, what's his name? Shannon Briggs or something?
Yep,
like that?
Shannon Champ Briggs. What's good, Champ? Hey, Champ.
I didn't listen to that, but I kept seeing this promo that Rogan kept doing on social media, and that's all the guy kept saying in the video. His shirt off.
That's right, Champ. Hey, Champ, we gonna have a good show today, Champ.
I thought it was funny.
Champ. No, for real, Champ. No, he's the best. He one point did a video because evidently Klitschko every day paddles on a canoe in the river in New York. So Shannon Briggs drove by in a big ass yacht and flipped over his canoe. Fucking, it's like, that's right, Champ. That's what you get, Champ. Hey, Champ. That's right, Champ. Hey, let's go, Champ. He's just a fucking hilarious dude. This is like his 4th comeback or some crazy shit. Just an awesome episode. He's a crazy person, and he's just so fun. He's just so fun. He makes a bunch of crazy references. He swears and then always apologizes, but then he'll swear again 10 seconds later. He went through crazy drug addiction and stuff, and now he's back and he's all about it, Champ. And he's running every day, Champ. Every day I'm doing that road work, Champ. Let's go, Champ. And it's just the best shit ever. Joe Rogan also.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Rogan's so into it too that it just makes it even funnier. So all that was awesome. I fucking had a blast. And then I believe it was Fighter the Kid, either episode 108 or 109. I don't remember which. I think 108. They moved to a new studio. So they are no longer under Fox, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, okay.
They were able to break their contract, and because basically Fox was taking half the money and just giving them a studio. And that was about it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then, so Brendan mentioned it at the end of episode 107 briefly, and then the execs came down, they're like, fuck you, get out. So rather than giving him like the 2 months or whatever to get a studio, so now they're in like some fucking small ass room somewhere. I don't know. It's fucking great. Go watch the video. Will Sasso's in studio doing a shitty Donald Trump impression.
Oh, I saw that on a YouTube like recommended video. It said Will Sasso in there.
Will Sasso is in there with his shitty mustache. I like Will Sasso.
I was gonna say, I don't know what he's doing. I know he did. I don't want to call him shitty because I never saw him, but he did like that Three Stooges remake thing a while ago.
Bad movie, yeah. No, he's in. He's not.
I know he was on Mad TV, right? Isn't that kind of
podcasts are what he's good at, as far as I'm concerned.
But was it Mad TV?
He's great on like
kinda,
3-minute podcasts and stuff.
Was Mad TV what he was known for? Because I remember the one movie I saw him that a lot of people did before he was even really known was Happy Gilmore. He plays the fucking.
He is in that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you know, if you can hit your ball past my ball, you go back inside and watch your precious hockey game. You know, that guy.
Yep.
Yeah, but
in whatchamacallit? He's from like 10-minute podcasts. He's awesome on podcasts. He is all right in TV and movies and stuff. But he was decent on the podcast. Just interesting to note that they're officially out of Fox. And Brendan still hasn't gotten his feed from Fox yet. So they're technically not updated on their show for like 3 weeks on iTunes, which is funny. So we are technically right now, as of right this date, officially supported equally as Fighter and the Kid on all media platforms, because we're on YouTube and our website. So that's cool, which we still gotta fix. But let's see, any other shows you wanted to mention? I think that was it for me.
I don't have shows, but do you want me to share some of the miscellaneous and breaking news?
That's right. What was your breaking news? Other than DC is out of 206.
Yes, that's this is. Okay, this was the original plan, and this makes sense, but it doesn't make sense for Rumble because it's short notice. They wanted Musashi to fight Rumble, and Musashi is ready. Fight. But they said
Mustachio will
as of
take that
right
in a
now,
second, but Rumble doesn't want any of that.
yeah, no, see, that's the thing. They said right now Rumble's like, nope, I want to wait until
That's
March.
a bad matchup for Rumble. Because Mustachio will just be able to get beat up for a bit and then just gas Rumble super easily from top game.
Yeah, that's what that was. Another thing I saw, I'll send you this picture.
Mustachio's the best, by the way, because you know he immediately volunteered for that shit.
Oh, he's super game for that kind of stuff, and that's what makes him awesome, dude. You know, it's great. Another breaking news, or it was kind of from Helwani. Ariel was tweeting it out. He says, as of right now, the UFC is still pushing pretty hard to strip Conor of the 145 belt. They said they said there's a very good chance of this happening at 206. Anthony Pettis will be fighting Max Holloway for the interim 145 belt.
Wait,
so
what is that? Wait, what the fuck happened to Jose Aldo?
I have no idea, but apparently he must be done.
Both of them? Wait, so...
He must be done. That's literally the news right now. So he must be done.
Shit.
He's toast. So he's obviously checked out.
If this is a double stripping of belts, this is the craziest shit of all time.
Yeah, but they said as of right now, all signs are pointing towards Pettis versus Holloway for the interim belt is probably going to happen at 206.
I bet you it's Pettis versus Holloway for a shot at the interim belt. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, but I don't know. According to Helwani, he said it's supposed to be for the best. So who fucking knows? I mean, either way, it's going to be fucking chaos.
That means WME IMG knows nothing about what they're doing. If that's really the case, that's insane. No one does that. You can't just strip everyone. And then just everyone's gone.
Yeah, who knows? It's the belts are fucking weird now, man. At least as far as title shots and opportunities go. Another thing, real quick. Did you see the video I sent you? Dominic Cruz. He was just trolling Garbrandt, and all that shit. With the whole
about Garbrandt getting cracked in the third round.
Yeah. There's another article. I meant to send it to you,
but
basically...
Took me a minute to figure out that was Garbrandt, because there was no neck tattoo.
Yeah, right. And Garbrandt's response is, of course, what you would think of someone who's as dumb as a rock. So, I'm only saying that because obviously I know he would kill me, but...
I have a cross.
Let me see. Here it is. I'll send it to you right now. I think I'm sending it to you on Facebook Messenger, so you're just going to get a laugh out of this. He gets... Yeah, no, I won't give him an A for effort, but definitely won't give him any grade for spelling. So, yeah. Because I remember someone on Reddit said, does anyone else see this Cruz Garbrandt fight being an easy 50-45 for Cruz? And so I agree, but then again, I could also give 50 or 45 to Garbrandt's spelling.
See, I gave 50-45 to Garbrandt's spelling as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
but I mostly chalked it up to fucking one arm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know what he's given up before, right? Or he gave up. Who knows what the context is there? But one thing, just to be a dick, I think it's funny.
Drunk. I hope he was super fucked up.
I hope he is too. And this is the thing, though. I am now calling him, even though I'll forget. I don't want to call him Cody No Love Garbrandt because that's just whatever. That's his nickname, right? I know Cruz calls him. What did he call him? He calls him No Dad Garbrandt or something fucked up like No Dad.
Cody Bro Love because that's way better. Cody Bro Love.
I'm just gonna call him Cody No Spell. Fuck it.
Cody No Spell.
Because misspell doesn't.
Bro Love, dog. That's
Bro Love.
Yo, that's a joke you can't make anymore, but it's really funny. Cody Bro Love. He's probably not a fan of that. He's from Alpha Male. I mean, I'm just saying. These are all facts, except for the Bro Love thing. All right. So where are we? Is there any other podcasts?
Not for me. But do you want me to mention that thing I told you about the tattoo? You know how if anyone was wondering what Chris Weidman's tattoo means on his right shoulder blade, it's the American. It's the shape of the United States of America as it looks like on the globe, and it's red, white, and blue. It kind of looks like a Major League Baseball or NBA logo, right? And I finally. What made me look it up is when I was watching Tough 13, Tony Ferguson has it on his right calf. He has the same exact tattoo. And I saw another fighter on season 12, this wrestler named Mark Stevens. He has it too. And what it is apparently if you're ranked All-American in NCAA, it's one of those things that's kind of like a fraternity move. And it's kind of like one of those... tattoos you just get that just kind of that solidifies you being an All-American wrestler. and I had no idea. And I remember, I thought it was kind of interesting. So
that's dope, dude. Hell yeah, that's
so it's kind of like a club
I had
in a
no
way.
idea.
Yeah, and what it is actually when I looked it up, it's the United States, as it appears on the map, it's red, white, and blue, but the white logo, just like I'm saying, there's an MLB logo, NBA logo, right, with like a batter or NBA player. It's actually someone doing a suplex. It's pretty cool.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So next
That's
time you
very
watch
cool.
Tony Ferguson, because I'm pretty positive it was Tony Ferguson who had it on his right calf.
It makes sense. I'm pretty sure he was. Super high level wrestler.
Yeah, he was a really good wrestler in college. Because then I was thinking, wait, what if other wrestlers like Koscheck has one? I don't think Koscheck has one, and I don't think... Because I know Koscheck was All-American. I know...
But Koscheck, I don't think he has tattoos, does he?
No, I don't think so.
Except for like maybe he might have a college tattoo.
Chad Mendez, I wouldn't be surprised if he had one, because I'm pretty positive he was All-American.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's one he would get.
Yeah, no. I mean, Weidman was saying in the thing I saw, not everyone gets it, but a lot of people do. And he says to the point where it's like, wait, why did I get this tattoo when every motherfucker who makes All-American has it now? He's just like, whatever.
That's still dope, though, dude. If you're All-American, I would fucking get that tattoo. Shoot.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share that because it was always like bugging me, like, what is that tattoo? And I was like, oh, cool.
Dope, dude. Hell yeah. Chris dropping knowledge without the kid. Fucking alright. Anyway, now that I'm making references to shows that aren't even in studios that can play those drops anymore. Anyway, I'm making all kinds of dumb jokes. Clearly that joint that I smoked earlier on the low might have affected me all.
Right now,
caught it. I smoked weed earlier in the show. Did you hear it?
I'll say right now I am actually below halfway mark of the wine bottle. How the fuck is this happening right now already?
Oh shit! Chris is drinking a whole bottle of Barefoot wine, and I smoked a crazy sativa joint. So shit's going off the rails. We're gonna jump into a fat break right now. However, when we get back, we're gonna get into UFC. No, wait, we're gonna talk about UFC Fight Night 99, UFC Fight Night 100, Bellator 146, and wait, we already talked about all these, didn't we? No, wait, that was our breakdown, right? And Invicta 20. Oh man, oh boy, guys, this could be crazy.
No, it's really funny because, people respect me in the sport, but I had people that laughed at me, colleagues that, I'm good friends with, and they're like, you're going to do what? Data told me I had big balls. That's a big, big compliment, I'll take
guess,
that one.
Sure.
Yeah, it was never, for me personally, it was never about, making any money, being the cool kid, being anything other than I had a job to do. The job was to get in here, build a platform where I could help these women because they asked me to. I had been involved on the mill side of the sport for many years, and, it was never about me there either. I don't even know, the average family wouldn't even know probably I exist, but, like matchmaking, but my athletes did because I was always in the back with them, and trying to, help them further their stuff along. So, yeah, for me when it started, it was all about and only about. And to this day, I'm sure, but just as Sarah looks over and goes, Shannon, I know you just want to keep the lights on, but can we make some extra?
Right, yeah.
For me, it's about, that's what it's about. I got a job to do, and as far as I'm concerned, my job is to make the sport better.
Welcome back, everybody. That's right, Chris does have his wine poured. That's right, I'm including that clip. And we are still jumping into... I always use the phrase jumping into. I should work on that. That's ridiculous. It's not like we're fucking skydiving into this card. Invicta 20 happened over the weekend. It was dope, as every Invicta card. Chris, you didn't get a chance to catch it, did you?
No, because I'm a piece of shit. That's why I missed it.
Wow,
So,
that's aggressive. I would
I
have just
know.
gone with the fact that you were busy, but I mean, I might have to agree with you. Invicta cards are pretty good. You're kind of missing out by not seeing it.
Yeah. Luckily for me, I do have the option of watching the replay on Fight Pass, so I do have a chance to redeem myself a little bit, but...
That's right, guys. Fight Pass. We're not sponsored by them, but fuck, we should be. But yeah, so Invicta was good. It was a small card, which is kind of... I didn't expect it to be so small. I do think they had a couple people get injured or had some people drop out, so I think that may have something to do with it, but still a really solid card, top to bottom. Most things I wanted to mention are the Erica Demetrius fight was super scrappy and back and forth, but the only thing I really want to talk about, Angela Hill was a monster as normal. She is a goddamn force in that division, and they are definitely going to scoop her back up to the UFC soon. She defended her title against Colleen Medeiros. In the first round, Angela Hill, you guys may have remembered from Tough, she got matched up really terribly early on in her career against people like Rose Namajunas after Ultimate Fighter and got caught in a RNC. Since then, Angela Hill has gone on to show crazy submission defense, and in the first round of this fight, Colleen Medeiros takes her down, and she immediately slaps on a pretty deep triangle that she has Colleen Medeiros in most of the round, at which point Angela Hill stands up and then proceeds to just slowly beat the shit out of Colleen Medeiros on the feet for the rest of the fight. Just another super strong performance from Angela Hill. Colleen Medeiros hung in there because she's tough as fuck, but Angela Hill is just constantly showing how she's evolving down at Alliance, and man, I'm just always impressed with her. Like I was worried she was going to gas after she threw on a super deep triangle that she was clearly selling out for, but not like completely. And she didn't quite have Colleen Medeiros was able to get just enough room to breathe, but eventually Angela Hill kept picking her away on the feet and eventually pieced her up and got the decision win. And then Yana Kunitskaya, still can't pronounce it, defeated Tanya Evinger in what might have been the worst referee decision of the year.
Really? Fuck, that means I definitely have to watch this main event, because I'm not saying I like watching shitty decisions. I mean, was it a stoppage? Or was it a decision? Sorry.
It was a stoppage, and by the way, guys, we're going to take a break right here so Chris can watch it, because it's only like 3 minutes long, and it's bullshit. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm at 4:57 right now, 4:56, 4:55. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We're synced up. So we're at 4:52, 4:51, 4:50, 4:49. So we are live watching this. So we're watching the Kunitskaya versus Evinger fight, and Chris, just watch what happens and let me know when you start having a problem.
Okay, cage warning right now. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, typical side control. She's trying to... Oh, I see. Yeah, has her knee in there, so she can't really kind of try to...
Yeah, shouts out to
Tito
DeSantis doing all the commentary with Julie Kedzie. Good stuff. Okay,
yeah,
here's where it starts getting interesting.
Okay,
Here's what watch this. Watch this.
Okay. 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 Yeah, trying to push out. I can't tell like if the rush chick's trying to pull guard with her butterfly.
You'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You don't worry about technique as much as just watch what happens.
Just
in this
like
fight.
literally what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Triangle.
So she's going for an armbar on that.
Oh, armbar. Yeah, that's right.
Right
yeah,
arm.
she's trying to sink it. Yeah.
Watch what happens.
Okay.
Totally normal so far, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't...
Still pretty normal,
what the fuck?
right?
Wait, what? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
So what was weird about that?
Well, why did they call it? I don't see anything illegal. It looks like it was just she's just trying to just get wrist control, right? So she get the fucking armbar off her.
Right. So she steps on the face of the girl, and when
that's what it was. Yeah, because I heard something
that's
stepping
allowed.
on her face. Is that allowed?
But
Like, can you
that's
actually step
allowed.
on someone's face?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's just like if she had her knee
so.
on. Oh, so she had her knee on the face, just like she had her foot on the face. But the only thing that's not allowed is kicking or stomping.
Yeah.
So essentially,
Dude, that's probably got to be the worst. I'm sorry. Like, I wouldn't even be happy if I won. Fuck the ref.
And then what happened is, so when Tanya had to take her foot off, it basically made her step deeper into the armbar, and then she immediately had to tap to the armbar. So Shannon on the podcast.
So did she actually submit? Did she actually tap? I couldn't really see because
she had to
she
tap,
did. I see. Yeah.
Right, but the reason she had to tap is because the ref was yelling at her to take her foot off the girl's face, and then the ref actually at one point touches her and not as in like pulls her off, but still right. That means the fight's over if you touch a fighter. But he was enforcing a rule that doesn't exist. So Shannon Knapp said she's going to go back and rewatch all the footage with all audio and every angle they have and assess what needs to happen and bring it to the commission. But yeah, very bad decision by Mike England. It was one of multiple that happened over that weekend, which is upsetting. But overall,
you should just play that fucking old. What was that video where Dana White goes, "That's fucking illegal" or some shit?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the right response to that shit. It was upsetting, but evidently,
man, what a fucking stupid fucking way to lose, and what a stupid way to win.
Yeah, evidently it's going to get looked at again though, and hopefully that gets resolved in the future going forward. We will briefly mention the Bellator 165 card. How much of this did you get to watch?
Let me. Oh, for that, I only watched the co-main and the. No, I lied. What was it? Here, I need to look it up on Sherdog.
You know what, while you're doing it, go ahead and look that up. So what I did not realize early on in this card is I didn't watch the fight with Kevin Ferguson Jr. Because I only watched the main card, not the prelims. So I actually missed the fight with Baby Slice.
Yeah, I missed that one too.
Evidently, from what I heard, still haven't seen it. Evidently, he showed a much improved ground game in comparison to his dad, but he still got caught in a guillotine in round 2. I just like seeing that dude compete. I think it's cool. If he wants to keep doing it, he should keep doing it. If not, I understand. I don't give a fuck. It's cool, but I don't feel like that dude owes anybody anything. Lyndon Vassell, Francis Carmel
I saw that fight.
Weird fight, right?
Yeah, I saw Piccolotti fight, and then I saw the co-main and main. So those are the 4 fights I was able to catch.
Yeah, well, the Lyndon Vassell, Francis Carmel fight was weird, right?
I thought so. From what I can remember of it, yeah, it was one of those where it was like, what the fuck? Kind of things.
It just didn't see a lot of action for Francis Carmel. Not a lot of pressure, not a lot of anything.
Was this the fight where he was just always on the ground? I remember there was this one where these two dudes just laying on top of each other the whole time.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah, okay, that was the fight then. Yeah, because one of these guys was like, what the fuck are these guys doing? And it's like, I felt like they weren't even either trying to pass anybody's guard. It was weird. I felt like it was just like, oh, let me just keep baby fucking tapping you with my fist in your ribs, and then just I don't know.
It was not super action packed, which is the opposite of the next fight, which had Carrie Ann Taylor Melendez, Gilbert Melendez's wife,
I did see that.
It,
Fuck
where
yeah,
she
dude, that was tight.
mollywopped the girl in the face at 47 seconds and put her away.
Yeah, because remember I saw the promo with Gilbert and him and his wife, and that was
she
awesome.
Just bodied this girl. It was ugly. That was so lopsided. They should not have put that girl in there with her. She fucking just slammed that girl in the chin. It was ugly. Brandon Gertz lost a crazy decision to Adam Piccolotti.
That was a good fight.
You remember much about this? I just remember being super scrappy, but I don't remember any of the details of it, really.
It was basically just like a slobber knocker on the feet. I can't remember
That's
which.
What I remember
honestly,
of it.
Both these guys look pretty similar, just appearance-wise. So I couldn't remember who kept getting the takedowns, but there were some really key takedowns. It must have been Piccolotti because he got the unanimous win.
That's what I remember of it. Michael Page and Fernando Gonzalez, however, was the opposite of that, where holy shit was that a slow fucking 3-round.
I did not like that fight in any way, shape, or form. It kind of made me very mad.
I liked Fernando Gonzalez by the end of that fight, and I would have given him the fight probably.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like,
I kind of was thinking like I might give this to 29-28 Fernando just off of literally walking forward because no one's doing anything.
Yeah, because he had more aggression towards the end. Arguably the latter. Yeah, the latter half of the second round too.
Yeah,
arguably
striking, grappling, aggression, and octagon control in that order is the criteria for scoring, and he was doing 2 of those. Even though they're the lowest 2, he fucking definitely stole the last round, and I argue he did more in the second one than fucking goddamn MV fades around a lot and doesn't really throw. I wish they'd just give somebody Michael Venom Page would actually have trouble with or need to fight against. Like, just do something. God damn it. Do something with that kid. It's just upsetting at this point. Man, Michael Chandler, Benson Henderson was awesome though, right?
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, that's instant classic right there. It was awesome, and every aspect of that fight was great. Especially the way Benson was able to kind of come back at the end. And some people's eyes, he actually won the fight. The thing
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
I
think it could have been unanimous.
Maybe,
well,
but yeah.
Actually, you know what? No, that's bullshit. I don't know if it should have been unanimous. Split decision's fine. Well, I don't know. Yeah.
I need to rewatch it, honestly. I've only seen it live, and that shit was so wild live. Like, you have to give 10-8 first round to Chandler.
100%.
100%. Maybe 10-8 second round, maybe not. Probably 10-9. And then from there, it's do you give 3 to Benson, or do you give one of those 3 to Chandler? Because there was some points where Chandler rallied, but I want to go back and watch it again because I feel like that's a really good fight for just for learning how the 10-9 system should work, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I remember some people tried to argue giving a 10-8 round to I think the 5th round to Benson, but I wouldn't agree with that. It wasn't 10-8.
Especially if at that point that means you have to start giving 10-7 in the first round.
Yeah. That's the case, granted, it was all Henderson in round 5, like that was
but not the same kind. Not the kind of dominance that Chandler had in that fucking first round. Holy shit!
That fucking suplex.
It was like Eddie Alvarez, Benson Henderson in the first 2, or Eddie Alvarez, Michael Chandler in the first 2 rounds. It was just literally just dumping Benson Henderson on his head and blasting him in the face. It was brutal. Alright. But yeah, other than that, I mean, that was that Bellator card for me. That's about all I saw. Good fights overall. Bellator has been putting on good matchups lately, apart from how they keep babying MVP.
Yeah, he needs to... I know people keep saying, I still agree that he needs to fight like some real fucking competition. I really want to see this guy get taken into deep water, see what he's really made of.
I want somebody with a name that isn't 90.
Just give him fucking Roy McDonald, but then again, Roy McDonald probably just fucking destroy him in the first.
You can't do that to him, but you can definitely give him like somebody in the middle of that 170 division.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? Let me open. First off, I'm opening my favorite beer of this. So I got a variety 12-pack of New Belgium. I'm opening my favorite holiday beer.
Oh, is that like the
year.
Folly pack or something like that?
Well, I don't know. It's just their variety, or their fall variety. But Chris, have you ever heard of New Belgium chocolate chip cookie dough ale that they paired up with Ben & Jerry's with?
No, but that sounds pretty fucking amazing.
It's fucking fantastic. It tastes like chocolate chip cookie dough from Ben & Jerry's. It's a golden ale too. It's not like a dark porter or a stout.
That's interesting right there. Golden ale.
It's real good.
Shit.
So I just opened one of those, and I'm super enjoying life. That's what I got super ultra trashed on last night for Turkey Day.
I am enjoying the sugar water, aka that is supposed to be wine.
That's right, barefoot and pregnant is what Chris is drinking.
I honestly would not have I almost want to say I would have minded rather having Franzia. Just some good old-fashioned, go to grandma's house when I'm 10 years old.
Box it up, dog.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I always remember, I think I was about 10 or 11. Hey, Grandma, is this grape juice? Have some, Christopher. Thanks. This tastes weird.
Exactly. Also, the greatest, if you guys don't know, the greatest ever reference to box wine is It's Always Sunny, where they do an intervention episode where they all drink box wine out of Coke cans. It's great. Definitely check that out. Anyway, jumping on to UFC Fight Night 99. It happened. It's a thing.
I was going to say, I know you were at a wedding. Did you get to see any of these fights via replay by any chance?
So I watched the first couple live, actually, which I don't remember much of because I was fucking getting ready for a wedding. And then I went back and watched the whole card later. I've seen everything since then.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was asleep during some of this card because,
a lot of this card, like, it was, I mean...
I'll say right off the bat, the fight that impressed me, Kevin Lee's win impressed me.
Kevin Lee, Zach Cummings also, I would say, an early card.
Kyoji Horiguchi, that was a pretty decent scrap with
first
Ali,
off, let's talk quickly about Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee was a motherfucker in that fight. He just bodied homie. Like, oh my god, Kevin Lee is a force in that division.
He bodied the Dagestan.
Like, the fact that he kept calling out Sage, you know why he kept calling out Sage, because he would fucking ruin Sage's face.
Oh, of course.
Like, it's so not fair. That dude is, and I've heard he's been having a lot of trouble getting fights in that division. Like, nobody really wants to fight that dude because it doesn't do anything for your record, but he is a beast. So I hope he gets some good fights coming up because he made a statement in that one.
I hope so too. I was going to say, one fight I want to talk about, I remember, I think I said on the podcast a week before this that the first Welshman that was going to fight was Marshman, but it was actually the other guy first, technically, Brett Johns, the bantamweight. He had a really fantastic victory over the Korean guy, Kwan Ho Kwok. He was the first Welshman, technically, to step in the octagon. He won. Yeah. And then Marshman had a very fucking impressive fight. Because I didn't know what to expect, and neither did you, I remember, too. Because remember I was telling you this guy was just in the military. And, like, I wonder what that does to you.
That was a bad matchup for him, too.
Yeah, so... to both Welsh fighters, hats off, man, and welcome Wales to the UFC. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. Hey, if you've ever seen the Wales episode of Three Sheets, go find that on your local semi-legal torrent facility because that shit is really good. Or I don't think you can buy it anywhere. If you can buy the first season of Three Sheets, do that. But it's great. There's an old lady grabbing dicks. It's crazy. All right, so Kyoji Horiguchi. Oh yeah, you were gonna say?
Oh no, yeah, this is the one too.
Kyoji Horiguchi, Ali Bags.
I liked it. I mean, it wasn't something that. I mean, it had its moments for sure, especially with with some of the scrambles with the insane amount of takedown attempts. And, all the shoots.
All the crazy fucking all the crazy like lateral drops and. Switches that Kyoji kept hitting on Ali Bags.
Yeah, these are two guys too that are just like kind of always at the perennial top of the flyweight division, and I kind of figured, Kyoji I could imagine getting another title shot down the line depending on what happens, with Benavidez, Cejudo, and the tough winner.
Especially
and that
he's
kind of
such
thing.
a weird question mark of a dude. Like he has such a weird game and style matchup for everybody.
And this is the thing too. We're not gonna
outside of DJ, obviously.
I would say we're not gonna be dicks, and we're not gonna spoil. Since me and you already know the winner of Tough. Some other people do too.
I included that all with the podcast earlier.
Oh, you did? Oh, then fuck it.
Yeah, because we were talking. It was entertaining enough that I was like, yeah, we're just leaving it.
Should I just go on the record then? Just say his name?
Yeah, go for it. Everybody knows. Everybody knows it's Tim Elliott. Welcome to the
everyone
internet,
knows.
bitches.
Yeah, and whoever is listening to our podcast this week, go fuck yourself. Just stop crying. So, anyways, if you're mad about it. So how would you think Elliott
if you're mad
matches...
about it, use the internet better. How about that?
Yeah. How would you think Elliott matches up against these two guys? Because these are guys that are always kind of like...
I like him against...
I can see him taking on Ali.
Kyoji.
For sure.
The thing is, Ali was weird because Ali looked so different when he was on EPO. Ever since he popped against DJ for being on EPO,
was he the
not
guy who
nearly
popped?
the same. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was the dude, and dude, if you're gonna have to fight DJ, I don't hate you for trying to take me
Yeah,
out.
I mean,
I feel your pain. Like he's unhuman.
He could have just been
you
like,
have to be an alien to keep up with him.
he could have been like Uber Reem and just eat some fucking horse meat or something like that, or what the fuck his excuses from years ago. Yeah, either way, if Elliott fought Horiguchi, I know Elliott, I think, is about like 5'7", so that's considered pretty big for flyweight, I think. Height-wise,
I think
right?
Elliott would be able to win the takedown game against Horiguchi and staying on the outside and boxing, like clean, just like long, straight punches.
So like that's the thing too. So
a lot of cage pressure, a lot of that kind of bullshit, where like he's able to be crafty enough to stay out of subs, but also put enough pressure on and like
this is the thing too,
be lengthy
dude.
enough.
I know you haven't watched anything really of the new Tough.
So I haven't seen. I was gonna say I haven't seen Tim Elliott fight in weeks. So
he's been
like
really
years,
impressive.
Probably
off of his back. Extremely impressive too. When
really?
someone has top, and just to wait. I don't know how many fucking submissions.
Necks or anything.
Yeah, the thing. Yeah, he had his first fight. I can't remember who he fought. He won via bulldog choke, and it was like in the most. Yeah, dude.
Like some bulldog chokes ever since the Ashley Evans Smith bulldog choke that Rocky Penny did bulldog.
It's the thing, man. Where like the toughest competition so far for Elliott. I'm sure it'll be this week when he fights the Japanese guy Hiramasa, because he's like a fucking really good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and kind of judo grappler guy. But Elliott, as far as like his toughest competition so far, was against a number 15 seed striker named Eric Shelton. Who's really good, or I shouldn't say really good, but he has decent, good, like kind of clean boxing and stuff, right?
Definitely, well known.
So either way, that's what's going to give Elliott, the biggest issue is just obviously, Mighty Mouse is everything,
outside
really.
Of DJ, outside of everything DJ does.
If Elliott's going to have a chance against anyone, including Mighty Mouse, I think it's going to have to just be submission stuff, man, because Elliott has been brilliant so far on the show with his submission game.
That's interesting. So. I'm really excited to see the catch up on that season.
Yeah, dude, he's been really crafty escaping submission attempts. I don't know how many times people have had this dude in like fucking arm bars. I think this one guy from 2 weeks ago had him in that kind of like that Tanya Evinger thing, where your arm is all locked up like that. He just picked him up off the ground since he's bigger than half the guys and just slammed him and just broke free. So the guy, I mean, just like you were saying months before, he's someone when you saw his name on that.
He's got super experience. Like,
when you saw his name on that roster,
he's been around forever, and he's so scrappy tough.
And it's obvious
he's a Ben Askren type almost.
Yeah, it's obvious he's way better too than last time he fought in the UFC. So
awesome! I'm excited to see this season.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll keep on rolling. Jack Marshman and Magnus Siebenblad. Pick this one wrong. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, we chose against this guy. I mean, but then again, it's not really our fault because
I picked off the record, which you can't judge fights off records, and holy shit.
Yeah, and he was gone too. The guy was in the military for a while, so I mean.
Yeah, Marshman came out on fire and looked great in that fight. That's about all I have to say about it, though.
Yeah, that's awesome. This fight pissed me the fuck right off.
This is going to be our GIF of the week for our podcast art, as Artem Lobov throwing the fucking standing hammer fist against
exactly.
fucking Ishihara. It's the worst fight. You texted me, you texted me saying this is your least favorite fight you've ever seen, right?
No, like I'm not even like no hyperbole. Like I swear to God, one of the worst fights I've ever seen in my whole fucking life, because it's one of those things where like someone like Ishihara.
Watch that Bellator card where they just fucking where Lima circled for fucking 1,400 rounds against Mano.
It's the thing, dude, where like Ishihara has a fucking every time this dude would connect with any punch, he would never follow up. And it's like, God damn it, dude, you're just screaming at this guy.
Circling
like, what are you doing? You're fucking smiling at him. You obviously don't give a fuck. Like, you literally don't. Like, I'm sorry, you've proven it. You just don't want to win. So not only are you disrespecting your coaches, they're probably screaming at you in the fucking corner.
You can hear Justin Buchholz screaming.
Yeah, he's just wasting his fucking time. Like, what are you doing? Like, Lobov is not a world beater. Obviously, he's not, like, he's just a middle guy. You know what I mean? Sure, I feel like if Ishihara would have pushed the pace 10% more, he would have just gotten the takedown and it would have been over. Like, but he kept letting Lobov recover and kept circling and playing. Lobov's like, let's just wing one giant punch the whole time. Yeah, that's all.
It's frustrating to watch.
That's all I want to say about that fight. That fight pissed me off. I didn't get. This Bellator shit's all fucked up on.
Timothy Johnson, I don't remember much of. I don't like the heavyweight division at the bottom end of it. I rarely pay attention. I remember this happening. That's about it.
This is funny. We kept calling him Stevie Ray Vaughan, like the singer, I guess.
I do it all the time. I don't know why I've decided that's his name.
For
I
me,
just called Stevie Ray Vaughan.
For me, I just kept thinking of the South Park episode where Randy calls himself Steamy Ray Vaughan and just farts into the microphone. So it's just that stupid fucking thing. But
I was editing the show last week and I was like, why do we keep calling him?
We know why. We know damn well why we're calling him that, because it's fucking retarded.
Like once or twice. I did it every single fucking time.
And that's why I didn't say anything too, because I thought it was great.
I thought it was a funny bit, but I can't tell because I was too buzzed. But anyway, Stevie Ray Vaughan got the win over Ross Pearson. Super close fight.
This is the thing.
Stevie took it. I don't even think it should be a split.
This is the thing. I thought Stevie won too. The thing that was total just what the fuck are the judges thinking? Split decision, 30-27 for each fighter.
Ross,
How the fuck did Ross win up? No. Like, what fight did you fucking watch? It's like, did they borrow a judge from the Kovalev Ward fight? Like, Jesus Christ.
Evidently, Doug Crosby was hanging out in the back and giving advice or something.
God.
I don't know. But it was that was an upsetting decision. And then Gegard Mousasi, Uriah Hall, awesome fucking fight.
Went how we both expected, I imagine.
Yeah,
so,
I think I literally picked Gegard by second round. Because I always do the UFC live. Or no, actually, no, you know what? They didn't have this fight. Because the EA UFC 2 game always does a live picking contest thing. I liked Gegard by finish in this fight. Just because I liked him by finishing the first fight, apart from the part where he got destroyed in the face.
I was gonna say this if you can find a soundbite, I'm sure someone has it. You have to have it where he says, "I'm coming. What the fuck? I'm coming." We have to put that. We just gotta do it.
That'll be our next break intro. Actually,
there we go.
Before we go to our lead-in, It was I'm coming. What the fuck? I'm coming. As Gegard Mousasi would say. Just great performance. Uriah Hall landed some serious fucking damage, but it was exactly what I expected from Gegard, where he just is like emotionless and is like, no, bro, and just keeps punching you in the head the whole time, and you're like, oh, this is not fun. And then he gets that takedown, and you're like, oh, this is just gonna keep going like this forever, isn't it? And then Big John's like, nah, we're good. I think it was Big John, right?
Yeah.
No, Mark Goddard. Goddard.
Okay, yeah.
But still, he just like was looking at it. He's like, all right, this is clearly how this is going to go for the next fucking 45 minutes if we let it. Let's just stop this now. Overall, just fucking impressive performance. Big fan of both dudes. And great performance by Gegard Mousasi. I hope we see them both. I don't know why I keep calling him Musashi, like he's a fucking samurai.
Dude, I just call him Moose at this point. It's easier.
Yeah, the Moose. Just like how the Gooch fought earlier on the card. If you guys don't know about the Gooch, you probably don't know about the Betch effect. And you should get all up on Front Row Brian's Twitter. Anyway, or all up on the Filthy FRB show, which is no longer a podcast because they're not doing podcasts, but you should check it out because those shows were great. Anyway, we are going to jump into the Fight Night 100 card, IFP, but we're going to just segue into that in a second. All right, so a lot of this card we're just going to skip over because, man, I don't necessarily care to talk about every one of them, but Pedro Munoz got a pretty interesting guillotine submission over Justin Scoggins in this card. Towards the beginning of it, Justin Scoggins has been known for getting caught in guillotines. He looked fucking great in the first round, and then Pedro Munoz just literally grabbed a neck, and that shit was a wrap. He just kept following him from position to position, and eventually just locked it on so deep that Scoggins had to tap. Did you see much of the beginning of this card?
I apologize, dude. Are you talking about the Fight Night 100? Dude, I'm sorry, I'm so lost. I was looking at Whitaker for a second because I'm retarded.
Oh, it's all good.
No, this is the one that I missed on purpose. No disrespect to the people who fought, but I had
It's
this
an
was
early
on
one.
at the same time as the boxing fight and Bellator, and I chose Bellator and boxing over this completely.
Understandable.
Yeah, I
No,
did
you
see
didn't-
though some of the highlights though of like some of the main winners.
Yeah, there was a lot of guillotines early in this card. So up next, Enrique got the guillotine over Christian Colombo. I don't remember a ton about this fight. I think Enrique looking really good and then catching the guillotine. But again, at this point, so much MMA, and I was watching Bellator in the background, like Chris said. So, do you remember anything about that one? Probably not.
Of Colombo or of Johnny Eduardo versus
Colombo.
No,
Me
because
neither, but Johnny Eduardo, Manny Gambarian, I remember.
and Manny Gambarian retired, I believe. Correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
He was on the MMA Hour talking about it this week, which it sounds good that he retired based on what
Yeah,
the
I
way he was talking on that
I like
show.
watching him on The Ultimate Fighter, and like I liked watching him when he was in WEC too, especially even his fight against Aldo wasn't
Scrappy ass dude, just
Yeah.
scrappy motherfucker.
Yeah, he
like
really
his
had
brother,
a legitimate
or like his
love for the
cousin.
fight game, and he was always fun to watch. So, seemed like a really nice guy too. So good for him for knowing when to retire and everything. So I'm sure he won't regret it, because I mean, yeah, dude, you take so many hits to the face. Fuck that, you got to retire at some point. So, sucks he went out in a loss, but what are you gonna do? That's how it
Yep.
goes.
This next fight was super sloppy.
Is this Gazimirad Antigulov?
Yeah, I remember Hajaria Delima basically getting side or either half guard or side control, and then essentially just getting caught in a guillotine and dying. Because he was doing fine towards the beginning of that fight, and then he just literally got caught in a guillotine and then just kept circling into it more and just eventually died. It was
Well, I
rough.
hope they revived. I hope they resuscitated him if he died.
No, he didn't really die. But
I
it
know.
just-
I'm just being
it was
an
rough.
asshole.
It was rough.
Yeah.
Cesar
Hey,
Montage Ferreira.
I was gonna say, hey, what you could say is, as Faber once told Dominic Cruz like 5 years ago, he simulated his death. So
That's right. That's right. Cesar Montage Ferreira, the former Uber driver, took on Jack Hermanson. Jack Hermanson. Oh man, this was a classic Moutonge performance. Like, this is like Moutonge out of Tough, Brazil, back in the day. Like this, because when he got popped a while back, he hasn't looked the same. But this was that crazy top pressure, just super fucking durable top pressure, decent grappling Brazilian dude that he was when he was first coming up. Did you see much of that one?
no, like I said, unfortunately, it's I don't want to just say the only highlights I saw, because I don't want to disrespect the other, because you're going up the card.
What you saw is what you saw. What'd you see?
So basically, what I saw, what was it, Claudio Gadelha, then Thomas Almeida, and then just the main event. It was just highlights
So
of those.
let me flip through these real quick then.
Yeah, of
Sergio
course.
Moraes fucking put on a scrappy ass performance. Sergio Moraes, by the way, if you guys don't know, is one of my favorite fighters. He's just so fucking scrappy. Dude just throws fucking bola hooks constantly and just is a wild man. He's never not a wild man. He's always a wild man. He's just a fucking crazy person. I don't know why he's always just like refuses to not just do crazy person shit. But he was just throwing crazy hooks the entire time. As usual, since he throws just bombs constantly, he gassed out in the end of that or in the third round. So that was. Yeah, it started looking real rough
I was
towards
gonna
the
say,
end.
was there a moment where Zach Otto or Atau had a chance because he got gassed at the end, or not really?
Definitely. He was coming on strong towards the end. But Sergio Moraes is able to just like kind of shell up against the fence and throw a giant bomb enough to where he snuck out the split decision.
Yeah, so they kind of have it where the guy doesn't really engage, especially if he's just throwing last minute heat.
Yeah,
So,
plus
that
Sergio
makes-
Moraes has
yeah.
pretty good jiu-jitsu, and he had some pretty decent top control, I believe, in the second round. I know in one of them, I believe it was the second. Kamaru Usman and Warley Alves, just Kamaru Usman all motherfucking day. It just looked like, remember that we talked about last week, or I think it was last week, yeah. We talked about the Michael Johnson Kamaru Usman sparring footage.
Yes, we did. Yeah, Black
This looked
Zillions.
like that. except if one of them was just getting hit in the face a lot.
I forgot, did me and you choose Warley Alves, or did we not really say who's going to win?
I think I chose Kamaru Usman. I'm not positive, but I'm a big Kamaru Usman fan, and his wrestling, I think.
Fuck, he called out someone too, dude. Oh, fuck, who was it?
I don't remember.
What is he, 185, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I think they're middleweight.
I think so.
He called out someone big. I can't remember who the fuck it was, though.
Right, I don't remember
might
who
have been
he...
Gegard.
170.
Oh, he's 170? Oh. I don't know. He called out someone, though, big, though. I remember that, though. Some big-ass name. Yeah, I can't remember.
I'll look it up. Go ahead and start talking about the next one.
The Claudia Gadelha fight. The highlights that I saw, a lot of grappling, throwing Courtney Casey in the ground. I saw there was a thread a bunch of times of some controversial kick. I don't know what
Damian Maia.
Oh, yeah.
He called out Damian Maia.
Wow, okay.
Sorry. Yeah, that was the call, which is an interesting matchup. Because Kamaru Usman's a nasty wrestler in comparison to Damian Maia, and he does have good jiu-jitsu defense. I don't think good enough jiu-jitsu defense, but that would jump that dude up like significantly in that division. And he's a tough fucking wrestler, man.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt it happens because I think Maia would probably prefer
Maia said he's holding out for a title shot.
I'm sorry, I would do the same thing
forget
too.
what show he was
blame
talking
him.
on.
I don't blame him at all. So
what show did we talk about the show Damian Maia was on? I don't know if it was Luke Thomas or Sherdog or what, or maybe Ariel's show. But because Damian Maia is a
well, he was on Ariel's last week.
That's what it was. Because he has a degree as a reporter, not a journalist. So he loves podcasts. That's one of my. I wish someone would convince Damian Maia to do a podcast because he listens to podcasts all day. Is what he says. Yeah,
he's definitely one of my favorite fighters to watch during interviews too. It just seems
he's
like
so
such a
smart,
really
dude.
intelligent guy.
He's so fucking smart. Yeah, it's insane.
And I remember too. It was like months ago. I think it was the podcast we did leading up to his fight against Condit. Someone asked him. It might have been Ariel when he was on there before. They asked him. Oh no, I think it was UFC Unfiltered. Yeah, they asked him about what he thought about the Olympics in Brazil, and he said he actually doesn't even really like soccer that much, which is ironic since he's Brazilian. So I thought that was fucking hilarious. A Brazilian who doesn't like soccer.
Well, yeah, but they would argue that's because he's the rich Brazilian.
That's too. I've heard that too. I remember that's why when Anderson
fucking Brazilians are all racist as shit.
Yeah. Oh no, when Anderson
he's
Silva
the white
fought him.
Brazilian.
Exactly. So, yeah. I was gonna say. I remember during that fight. I think Anderson kept calling him some derogatory shit, like whether it's probably the equivalent of white boy or gringo or some bullshit like that.
It's gringo,
or maybe he called him like Portuguese. I don't fucking know. Whatever you want to call
some shit
him.
like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll get back on track. Claudia Gadelha, Courtney Casey, super decisive win for Claudia Gadelha. I do have one question for you, Chris. And you already know what it is.
Wait, what?
I said I have one question for you, and you already know what it is. Do you know what it is?
No, but I guess remind me.
Did the head kick land?
See, that's the thing. I didn't even fucking look at the controversial kick. I kept seeing all these threads about it, and I never clicked on it for some reason, because I
Go look up the GIF right now while I start talking about it.
All right, sounds good.
So, just Google Claudia Gadelha Casey head kick. Then you'll be able to GIF, and look for images, and it'll come right up. Absolutely. I don't want to give my opinion until Chris says it, so let's pause briefly. That's right. So while Chris is pulling this up, the CAB MMA, the Brazilian Commission for MMA, I don't know what their actual abbreviation is. I just know it's CAB MMA.
Wait, did you say CAB MMA like cab?
I think that's their abbreviation.
That just always reminds me of like when someone goes, "Oh, who did you fight, bro? Fucking cab drivers in Brazil." I remember they're talking about like Almeida and shit. That's a pretty cool. It's a funny coincidence.
Yeah, I think CAB MMA is the name of it because it's the CA Brazilian MMA, whatever.
Okay.
Commission Brazilian MMA or some shit. But they are alleging that Courtney Casey. I wish I could remember the wording, but basically that she faked that the head kick landed, It was some weird like falsity or they used some weird phrase. Here, I'll look it up.
What? What the fuck? No.
Watch it again.
Wait. Okay. Let me zoom in on this shit.
Yo, so keep watching this. It absolutely lands. Everybody's an asshole. It absolutely skims off the top of her head.
Oh, yeah, that shit landed for sure.
Your
Your
fucking leg doesn't just take a 45-degree angle off someone's head unless it connects with their head. Watch her leg, not the chick's head. If you watch her leg skips at a 45-degree angle halfway through that kick. Yeah, it fucking just
skyrockets back up. How the fuck can you... No one can perfect that.
You can't do that unless it bangs
yeah.
off of something. Yes, absolutely.
And obviously Kedzie is not going to say, hey, let me just barely miss her head. No.
No. Well, no, and clearly, it was one of those things where she was clearly trying to pull back towards the end of it. Like, she realized, oh, fuck, she's not all the way up.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because her hand's on the fucking ground. You can't even do that.
Right, so it's an illegal kick, but it's and what's crazy is they gave them, a minute and a half and then didn't take a point, which is insane. But yeah, no, absolutely that shit connects. So the Brazilian MMA Commission needs to watch their fucking footage, because I saw it live and I was like, oh, that clearly skims her head.
Was that the only angle of the replay they had?
No, there's 14 angles and it skims her head every different fucking way.
Who was it? Who was commentating? Because I know someone did the Belfast.
I believe it was.
Oh no! It must have been. It must have been Anik and
Stan. I think.
Stan, yeah, because the Dan Hardy and the other guy, what's his name, Gooden.
Yeah, John Gooden.
Yeah, did Duck there in the UK, Northern Ireland.
And it was it was just a weird one, man. Yeah. Clearly it lands. It clearly lands.
Yeah, you're fucking ignorant if you think that did not land.
Well, no, the problem is everybody, when they are looking at that, they're looking at Courtney Casey's head, not at her foot. But when you watch her foot, it clearly skips off at a crazy angle that you don't move your foot at while you're kicking. It clearly skips in and then up. It's insane that anyone is questioning that at all. So it's upsetting. Up next, the Thomas Almeida Alberto Morales, or the Albert Morales fight. This is exactly what everybody expected, right?
Yeah, what a fantastic finish. Such precision. Good for Almeida.
Morales had some moments in the first round and
he
a little bit in the second.
Yeah. Credit him to that.
He landed a couple punches, but he just got mollywopped.
Yeah. And then the main event is what we all expected, right? I mean, fuck.
It's literally exactly what I expected. Oh, no, I should say I expected a second round finish, not a third round finish. I did predict the Thomas Almeida second round TKO, though, on the UFC 2 game.
So what does that do? Give you, points for, Ultimate Team? Or what's it called in the UFC? I can't remember. It's not, because I'm thinking of Madden. But,
nope, you got it exactly right. I got a card pack for Ultimate Team.
Oh, it is
still I can apply to my new Ben Askren fighter I just created.
See, I was gonna say I remember I only played Ultimate Team once in Madden when it was I think Madden 12 or 13, and I would just cheat and just not cheat, but I think it was I played it this year, the new Madden or whatever, right? Or it was Madden 16, and they finally released LaDainian Tomlinson as an option, so I'm like, oh, of course, get Prime LT and just fucking ruin defenses. Just do third down options out of the backfield, and
see, for Ultimate Team for the UFC game, it's kind of weird. You just basically make 5 fighters, and then you can play with them. But I made a Ben Askren.
Is it a rotational thing?
Yeah. Oh, I made a Ben Askren. No, it's basically you just you get to different divisions with each one. They're all in different. You can pick different weight classes for each one, female, male, that kind of shit. It's kind of tight. But yeah, overall, the Ryan Bader, just dominant ass performance. All takedowns, all punishment.
Bader right now? What's that guy even fucking?
You gotta give him you gotta give him the next shot. You gotta give him the next shot,
right? Yeah.
You got to. There's nobody else. Gus is gone. Gus hasn't done shit.
Yeah, no, he got hurt really bad again, and I think he might be contemplating retirement again. Unfortunately,
and I mean, the second dude at that point is what, Krylov?
Yeah.
Krylov doesn't get a shot yet. Like,
Yeah,
Krylov
fuck no.
should fight, like, I don't
Yeah, let me look at it right
know.
now. Watch this shit here. Light heavyweight. All right, let's see. So,
It's the
champion
saddest
DC, who's
ratings.
hurt now. Again, unfortunately, you know, the AKA, I don't want
That's-
to call it a curse,
Yep,
but
it's a curse.
I guess it is. So something's going on. Knock on wood. I'm gonna pray that, and I'm not one really to pray, but I will pray for Habib that he gets to fight, you know, next year early because everyone wants to
real.
see him fight. So yeah, let's see. The number one contender, obviously, Rumble. Number 2, Gus, who's going to be out for a while because he's hurt again really bad. His back, I think. I think he's on back problems. Number
Something
3,
like that, neck.
Glover Teixeira. I would definitely give Bader a shot over him right now.
Bader and Glover are like we're probably neck and neck at this point.
Yeah,
but
Bader's
it depends
number
on who
4
wins.
right now, by the way.
Have Glover and DC fought?
I don't think so.
Maybe that'll be the next one then.
And this is the thing, too. What about Jimmy Manawa? How he absolutely fucking just
Nope.
crumpled.
That's
Nope.
what they'll do. Is they'll do Jimmy Manawa and
Bader.
and Bader, and they'll do Jimmy Manawa and Glover, which will probably that's probably a better matchup.
Yeah, then you got
'cause-
OSP's number 6, Maurice.
Nah, I don't care about the rest of that fucking division. No, I don't
Shogun
give any
still
fucks.
fights? This is how
Yeah,
ignorant
that's
I
my
am.
point. Is I don't
Dude.
even want anything to do with the rest of
Okay,
that
yeah.
division.
I should just stop just saying these. But yeah, because
Right.
Krylov's
Well,
number
plus
8.
we still gotta get through a card, goddammit.
Yeah.
But but yeah, overall, man. Oh yeah, Krylov is 8. That's hilarious. Yeah, set up Krylov and Shogun. That'll be a fucked up fight.
One thing I'll say before we say is, you know, the light heavyweight division needs help. No offense to him, because okay, I guess I'm offending him, but you know that division needs help when Rashad Evans is still the 14th ranked light heavyweight. I'm sorry. So
It's trouble. That's trouble. All right. Well, on that note of fucking depressing light heavyweight news. / depressing middleweight news, depending on how you look at it. We are going to jump into the upcoming Fight Night card.
101.
Fuck, do you know what it's called? 101? Is it officially?
Yeah, Fight Night 101, Whitaker versus Brunson in Melbourne, Australia. And like
Should
every
be interesting.
asshole
There's
keeps
a couple
saying...
shitty fights on this, so...
Yeah, let's see. So what's his first fight? Marlon Chito...
Actually, wait, before we get into it,
fuck.
I'm going to grab a beer.
Sounds good.
So many days, you know, I was like, man, you know what? I'm trying this thing, man, and no one's giving me a shot. And I'm like, you know what, man? Maybe I should get a job, and maybe I should. I'm like, nah, you know what? Then I woke up one day, and guess what? Snoop Dogg said, "Let's go, champ."
Really?
Yeah, I swear to
I
God.
remember that. He was smoking weed.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm fucking with you, champ. Let's go, champ.
Come on, champ. That was, yo, the night before, I was like, bro. The night before, I was like, yo, bro. You really trying, champ. You have fights, man, and maybe it's never gonna happen for you. You know what I mean? I was like, yo. And then I woke up like 4 or 5 in the morning. Snoop Dogg was saying, "Let's go, champ." I said, "I'm back. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ." I said, "I'm back."
Oh, that was beautiful,
Yeah,
man.
champ.
Well, you've done some crazy shit too, though, man. Like especially with the Klitschko's.
Yeah, soft. He's softer than the biscuit.
You've had a lot of fun videos though. Showing up, drinking his water,
Yes.
fucking with him.
Yes.
You knocked him over when you were
Yeah.
riding a
I
boat.
got
He
his
was on the
ass,
paddleboard.
chomp. I got him, chomp.
Up next, we're going to break down the UFC 101 Fight Night card. No, wait, UFC Fight Night 101 card.
In Melbourne, Australia. Yeah,
That's right. Hey, if you're not listening to Submission Radio, you're not listening.
Hey, shouts out to Submission Radio. Those guys always have really, really good. This is the way they conduct the interviews with all the guests. Really well done all the time. All right, I'm done doing my shitty Australian accent.
They literally have my favorite questions of most interviewers because
Yeah,
they don't
no,
ask
those
questions
guys are
anybody
awesome.
else asks. They always like research their guests and ask them like they ask JJ about shoes. They ask fucking people about like weird fucking topics that you wouldn't think they would have an opinion about. I just like the way they do
I
that
feel
show.
bad for forgetting their names, at least their first names, but you already know it's going to be a good question
I'm
or a good
gonna
lead-up.
say it's Chad and something.
Because thing is, you know, they ask good questions where they go, like for example, they go, so Stephen Thompson, we've heard you like doing this kind of thing. So can you tell us a little bit more about, you know what I mean? Like they fucking know exactly. And it's like, oh, now that you mention that, actually, yeah, yeah, you know, and then you get like some really
Yeah,
kind of
they're like-
intriguing, in-depth fucking answers that people actually want to hear. So
Yeah, they'll bring up something like, "Oh, this is clearly something we are well aware that you are into. Here's another thing that I think you will probably be into. What are your thoughts? Are you into it? Or are you not into it? What do you think about fucking?"
yeah, right.
Like,
What do you think
they
about
have
it?
weird-
Dingo ate my fucking baby.
Right. Like
Right.
they're also there. You can tell them every time when they're at a press conference because immediately you're like, "Oh,
You're like, oh, submission
I know who that
radio."
is." Yeah. Oh, submission radio. Ronda
Yeah.
Rousey. You're gonna get killed by Harley Helm. How's that gonna be?
Well, we heard there's a new rumor that Ronda Rousey had to be canceled after her stupid fucking stare down with Amanda Nunes. Is this true? Is she still an emotional fucking wreck? We're gonna really find out later on this December. Stay tuned. Does she
Right.
even really
Although
want to
you
fight
make him sound
anymore?
like a shitty Crocodile Dundee, which
Yeah,
they
I know.
are
That's the
not.
point. No disrespect, but yeah.
So, anyway, we should finally jump into this card. We've done a bunch of terrible Australian accents. UFC Fight Night 101, Australia, Melbourne, Victoria, bitches, Rod Laver Arena. Who's Rod Laver?
Wait, who?
Marlon Vera is taking on Kwang Yu Lim.
Marlon
Kwang Yu Ning.
Chito Vera. Oh, and the winner of Tough China, right?
Is that who that is?
I think so. Or I know he was on Tough China because I was crazy enough to actually watch Tough China because that shit was a wreck with.
There's a couple like kind of cool people in it.
Yeah.
Not enough worth actually watching it, but
No, because
like,
there's a problem with Kung Lee, dude. He got like popped for PEDs during
Oh,
like the
yeah, he
fucking
did.
filming of that, and then I remember
which
like
is a
no
fucked
one
up story
actually.
when you like look into it later. You're like, oh, he got popped for PEDs,
yeah,
but
there
no
was,
one
like,
kept
production
any of the
issues.
actual things.
Yeah, there's production issues on the show. I remember like no one had like actual real translators for like the Chinese fighters. I mean, I know a lot of them spoke English too, because you know
Fucked
Chinese
up. Yeah, it was all fucked up.
they're all on top of that. But yeah, either way, it was so fucked. But yeah, either way, Marlon Vera. I remember I know him from the first season of Tough Latin America. Really scrappy guy on the feet and his stand up.
Tough stuff, dude. Yeah, I like Marlon Vera in this fight. I don't know much about either dude. I like him.
Yeah, I would take
just
Vera in
off
this
of-
fight just from what because I've seen him fight and I don't remember much about. I'm gonna butcher his name, Guangyu Ning. I don't know how to say it. I'm
Sure.
sorry, dude.
Yeah, let's go with
Yeah.
that. So Khalil
Yeah.
Roundtree, best known for yelling at his mother through the fence while getting
Yeah,
punched in
shut
the
up,
face.
mom.
Hey, mom, stop yelling, please.
Yeah, and this guy
Facing
is
off against
super
Tyson
hyped.
Pedro, who
Yeah.
I've never heard of.
Yeah, Roundtree is still really hyped. Do you think I mean, we don't know who Tyson Pedro is. Sorry, Tyson Pedro, I don't know who you are. If say Roundtree knocks him out first round, do we start believing in Roundtree and his hype? Because he still has his hype. It's based on how the guy's built and his skills that he's shown.
Until he gets double-legged again.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the thing I'm curious about is this dude's coming off of 3 sub wins by either RNC or guillotine.
Oh, shit.
And Khalil Roundtree has a tendency to stick his neck in places where it shouldn't be. So I mean, I think this will be an interesting fight. I think it'll definitely be back and forth. I think it's going to come down to probably Tyson Pedro's gas tank and Khalil Roundtree's gas tank, and just kind of see how they play it out. When the dudes are this young in the division, it's really hard to tell, but it should be fun. Let's
So
see.
you got
Kyle
K.O.
Omari Ahmed.
Noak versus
That's right.
Omari
Omari
Wolverine.
Akhmedov.
Of course, your fucking nickname is Wolverine. Akhmedov. Got it. All right.
Yep. Wins over Sabata, lost to Moreno and Nakamura for Noak, and Omari Akhmedov is coming off of losses to Sergio Moraes and some dude with the last name Dos Santos. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Win over Brian Ebersol, though. That's a pretty big fucking win. So just based off resume alone and how long these dudes have been in the game, I'm probably going to have to go Akhmedov off of wrestling.
I'm
The
going
only
to
thing
go
that
off the fact that he's Habib's other cousin and that he's at Jackson Wink. So
Yeah, I mean, that's a good combination. The only thing that worries me a little bit is Kyle Noak is from Australia, obviously, so he may have an advantage of not having to travel.
Yeah, don't let this shit go to the fucking judges.
Yeah, probably. Well, and the advantage of not having to travel will probably help in the cardio department as well. But I mean, overall, I don't have much to say about it other than that.
I was going to say, I mean, just last week, a Russian fighter got fucked by the judges. Looking at you, Kovalev. 3 American judges for Ward. I know I said I would stop talking about boxing, but it's going to piss me off for the rest of the fucking year.
Look at the Bigfoot Silva fight that happened recently as well, where he got fucked by Russian judges.
Oh, no, I'm saying this is an instance of a Russian potentially getting fucked again. Because Kovalev's a Russian, who got fucked by 3 American. But yeah, it's just... God.
So this next fight I know nothing about, and I'm not even going to mention.
Sorry, not sorry to ZQ, Yao, and Geno Lauza. I'm just going to butcher your name on purpose.
Those sounds like
Henel.
names.
He's probably... Or no, you know what? Actually, no, that guy looks Asian. Never mind. I was assuming he was like Portuguese-Brazilian name.
Yeah, that sounds like names. Sophie Ham is taking on Danielle Dynamite Taylor.
Is this the chick who originally was fighting at 105 pounds? She's
Sophie Ham is very tiny. She's a very tiny 115er. She's
what is she like?
Super
5'1" or 5'2", something ridiculous.
5'2", I think. Yep, 5'2".
So she just gonna get ragdolled?
Well, the other chick's 5 foot.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah. She's coming off a loss to Marina Moroz, which was her first fight in the UFC. I feel like this is just a setup fight for Sohee Ham to be able to get the takedown, stay on top, probably win a decision.
It's like, how do we make Sohee Ham comfortable? Get someone shorter than her, but whatever works.
This next fight is between 2 people I've never heard of. Some dude who is from Japan, coming off of one fight against Nick Hine.
This fucking SureDog website, dude. Damn it. Okay, Yusuke Kasuya and
Alex the Hulk Volkanovski.
Alex the Polak?
No fucking idea. Both these dudes have never fought in the UFC, never fought in a fucking organization I've ever heard of. So we're gonna go to the next fight. I'm hoping for a cool fight in that one because I've never heard of any of them.
Oh god, dude, it's weird. I noticed it when I hover over their picture, it shows their fucking nickname, and I have to click on them. This guy's called the Hulk. God damn, is this the guy who painted himself green like a couple months ago? It must have been.
I have no idea.
Oh god.
John Tuck is fighting again. Go figure. After the loss to Josh Emmett and the win over Tai Hyun Bang, lost to Kevin Lee. Actually lost to Norman Park. His losses aren't terrible people. This fighting dude, Damian Brown, who was coming off a win over Cesar Arzamendia.
Oh my fucking god. Dude, looking at these nicknames, we should not have a game or some sort of challenge where we make a new nickname for them just based on how already pre-existingly fucking stupid their nickname is now and their picture.
Beatdown?
What's up?
Beatdown or Super Saiyan?
Yeah, right. So
which one is it?
Okay, well, Beatdown is just generic. Super Saiyan, sure you can call it nerdy, but you're really going to call yourself fucking Super Saiyan? Like, come on, dude. So just looking at this guy, John, what would you rather call him just by... Wait.
It's John's nickname should clearly be I Fuck.
Yeah, John, I Fuck Tuck. Yeah, that would be an improvement. So,
Or Damien, get ready for the...
Oh god, dude, I'm gonna fucking sound like a nerd of Dragon Ball. You know, see that necklace that dude's wearing? This is really bad. This is probably totally something different. It looks like a fucking necklace that character Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, wears. If that's true, this guy should just quit while he's at it. Oh man, he's just trying too hard.
Or he fucking loves Dragon Ball, dog. John Herrera is taking on Ben 10 Win. This is gonna be a fun fight. I don't know. These dudes are both at a weird place in that division.
Yeah, was Ben 10 the one who lost that? Was it? I don't know if it was close. I know he lost to Smolka, right?
Yep, just lost the TKO. TKO to Smolka at what was it? Fight Night 91, the McDonald Lineker card. Whereas John Herrera is coming off the loss to Bagatina by decision and the win over Joey Sanchez. I probably like Ben 10 in this fight. Just because I think he'll probably catch Herrera in something, whether it's just like in a scramble, get top control and be able to bang him out, or whether he'll be able to catch him in a guillotine or something. Or
that sounds about right, just based on what I've seen from Ben.
But that division's always scrappy, and they go to decision a lot. And if it goes to decision, I might like Herrera to probably have top control more often. So I think it'll be a scrappy, fun fight, and probably super back and forth. Dan Hooker and Jason Knight. I don't have much to say about this fight.
Versus the Kid, which is great.
I don't have much to say about this fight. I don't.
Yeah,
Dan Hooker
I don't know what the fuck to say. So this is a pick'em, I guess. Who would you just choose?
I don't know. I don't know enough about either one of these dudes. There's a lot of this card.
Whoever the Australian is, right? Just choose. Leave it to the judges.
I mean, I am leaning Hooker probably, but like that's just because I generally prefer hookers.
Yeah, good point. That's touche right there. So
thanks for super doing a weird segue from my obvious joke. Richard the Filthy Rich Walsh.
Oh my.
Is taking on Jonathan District.
Cool.
Manure. Since he lost to Colby Covington, the tastiest of cheeses. Shouts out to the Hammer MMA, who always references that Colby Covington sounds like a great cheese. I'm gonna lean Richard Walsh off experience. Don't know. I believe this is at what, heavyweight or light heavy? No, 170. I don't know either of these dudes.
I'm going with the Australian via decision.
Yeah, sure.
That's good. I'm just gonna keep saying what I don't know what the fuck to pick. So
like this is the kind of card that sucks when you're looking at it in terms of like name value, but it could be one of those ones that's really scrappy and back and forth.
Yeah, like this guy Jake Matthews, just based off his thumbnail, kind of looks like a cross between remember the guy Todd from Breaking Bad, him plus Justin Bieber. It's pretty bad. And what's he called himself? The Celtic kid.
So this actually I think could be a really good fight. Jake Matthews is coming off the wins over Johnny Case, which was a huge win, and Akbar Areola, he had the loss to Kevin Lee. Whereas Andrew Holbuck had the win over Ramsey Nijam and the loss to Joaquim Silva. I like Jake Matthews in this fight, especially at home. I like him to just be super devastating on the outside and super sharp with his straight punches. But I think it's going to be a fun, scrappy fight while it lasts.
Wait, who's the guy who beat Ramsey Nijam?
The other dude that wasn't the dude I picked.
Andrew Holbrook. Yeah, who knows? That means it should be pretty, because I know Nijam's a good wrestler and shit, and he's the guy who fought Ferguson in Tough 13 finale, so it should probably be pretty competitive, so yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It should be interesting.
Definitely. So 39-year-old Daniel Kelly is taking on Chris Camozzi, who is coming off the loss to Taos Leites, and then I was after the win over Vitor Randa and Joe Riggs via fucking 1,000 knees. I like Chris Camozzi to shut the fuck down Daniel Kelly in this fight.
Yeah, I like that
probably
too.
By either clinch or sub. I think probably he gets in the clinch and blasts him until Daniel Kelly falls over backwards and then gets top control and gets something like an arm triangle or something in a scramble. Maybe like a anaconda or something weird. I just 100% like Chris Camozzi in this fight. Maybe RNC.
I do too.
Cool. And let's see. Last one, Robert Whitaker taking on Derek Brunson. I fucking love this matchup, man.
I do too. And I know
this is probably my favorite matchup of the last.
I know some people are calling it 50-50. If you were to ask me just straight up, I'd say Brunson via either. I almost want to say split decision because I know it's going to be a close fight. But I just feel like either way, I just want to say Brunson just via, he's going to just out-wrestle. Well, he's just going to basically wrestle Whitaker. I feel like kind of pressure him towards the cage and just try to keep him on his back the whole time, and then just maybe finish him late with ground and pound, but I don't know though, because I know Whitaker. They're both on 5-fight win streaks, so it's.
See,
What do
I
you
think
think?
if this fight goes past 2 rounds, I think it's all Whitaker all day.
All
I
Whitaker
think
all day?
but I think if it's in the first 2 rounds, if Brunson's able to basically put a ton of pressure on and keep the pace, he's going to be able to pick Whitaker apart and land some super significant shit. If he's able to basically back Whitaker up the way he did with Uriah Hall and kind of make it
that's why I was thinking
use
that
a lot
cage
of feints
shit.
and
Yeah,
use a lot of feints and fakes and double legs to try to open him up and blast him with overhands. But if this goes past the second round, I think it's Robert Whitaker all day. By
makes
just fucking
sense.
Pace and
because
destruction.
doesn't Brunson gas or no? Because I know he's a good.
The way he throws, you can't not gas. Like that dude throws heat all the time. And Robert Whitaker is very well paced and has good takedown defense. He showed great takedown defense against what dude was that in Tough? The fucking military dude, the Navy dude. I keep wanting to say Colby Covington, but that's wrong. It's can't remember. Colby Smith maybe, something like that. But Robert Whitaker is super tough, super tough dude. But I like Derek Brunson probably in the first round or two to close the distance, feints enough to get on the inside, and then just blast him with something he doesn't see coming.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, either guy I could see winning. It's one of those
Absolutely.
fights.
I think it's gonna be a very scrappy fight either way.
I hope it doesn't go to decision. I mean, decisions are cool too, but it just depends. I mean, so
That could be a good decision though. If it goes that long, that means there's gonna be some motherfucking mollywoppins handed out. Well, overall, I think this is gonna be an okay card. I'm not like crazy stoked about it. But those are sometimes some of the best cards ever. Is the ones you're not necessarily hyped on. So
see, this is the thing. But I'm
yeah,
definitely
Australia has had good cards before too.
Yeah, I mean, look at Holm versus Rousey. Holy fuck!
That was not a good card.
Oh,
I don't know if you
no.
remember that.
Oh no, what card am I thinking
that
of?
That was the fucking Alexander Gustafsson, or no, the Big Nog stinker, and like the Stefan Struve stinker.
Wait, sorry. Did you say Australia hasn't had good cards lately, or has?
No, they have and they haven't.
Okay, I'm trying to remember the one where
the
they
Rousey
had
one was the bad one. But there was a good one, I think. Or no, actually, you know what? Maybe it was the one before the Rousey one that was the bad one.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm thinking Australian. I was just thinking of Melbourne because I think they said this is the second time they've been in Melbourne.
I'm thinking Sydney. I
think Rousey was Sydney was the shitty one.
Yeah.
I mean, what I was gonna say is I'm definitely gonna watch this card this weekend. But what fucking really sucks is I think I might have to miss the Tim Elliott versus fucking Mighty Mouse, dude. I mean, I'll try to watch it, but I think I'm busy next weekend with a bunch of school shit. I'll try to make time. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Either way, that's just the fight that I have to see, obviously, because I want to see how he stacks up against Mighty Mouse.
We will definitely do a breakdown show for that before then and get into all that because I'm going to catch up on all the tough episodes before then. But that should be fun. And, man, yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping this is one of these cards where everybody overperforms and it's just fucking crazy fireworks. But, man, some of these matchups are looking ugly. So we will see. But anything else you wanted to cover before we wrap up, man?
No, that's it for me. I am just about done with this whole bottle of wine, so actually it wasn't even really that bad. I mean, but then again, it's shit wine, so...
well, now that Chris is barefoot and ready to get somebody pregnant in the kitchen, we will go ahead and wrap this episode. I'm drinking Two Below.
Two Below, that's a fucking great beer. I remember that.
It's a good beer. I like it.
Yeah.
Shouts out to New Belgium. I'm a big fan. So we will wrap this here. Everybody go check out UFC Fight Night 101 show. You can find us, as you already know, thesoundofviolence.com, sovpod.com for the time being, tsovpod on Twitter, which Chris will eventually start. I am at the Pulver on Twitter. You can email the show at chris@thesoundofviolence.com. And yeah, we are about to be on iTunes before the end of the year. Chris, you promise before the end of the year?
Yeah, man.
Boom, done. You guys heard it here first. So we'll be on iTunes before the end of the year. We'll be on iTunes hopefully by the time Brendan Schaub's back on iTunes. Fucking shots fired, Fighter and the Kid. And we will go ahead and wrap this shit here. So Till next time, everybody, go do something decadent. We out. Cool, man.